All right, so we live. What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for tonight's Whether You Like It or Not panel. As y'all can see, I got all my great co-stars in the building tonight from Josiah's World TV, Bundy Boo, Giving You the Real Tea, Jamie, that's me, Spilling All the Tea, and Niecy Dixon. So we're all in the building tonight to talk about the Housewives of Atlanta and the Housewives of Potomac. So being that the Housewives of Atlanta was a bit light, we gonna start there. So what we're gonna start off talking about is Portia and her, being on the front lines, fighting for the rights of black people and all of that other stuff. So we're gonna spend the few minutes talking about that. So what I would like is for Bundy, Jamie, and Niecy to come in now and give their thoughts and opinion on it, and I'm gonna go on mute so y'all can go ahead.
Okay, ladies, which one was, it's up to y'all.
Yeah, I'll go. So,
You can go ahead.
Portia Luther King or Portia X, like they were saying. I really enjoyed her storyline this season, and I think it's nice that she's dedicated her season to this. My only con to this, or my only complaint, is that I wish they had production out with her filming, because I feel like you kind of shorten the fans by giving us iPhone footage. I really was hoping that it was only going to be one episode of iPhone footage, but it looks like we're going to get that in episode 2. But other than that, I cannot complain about Portia's storyline this year. It's definitely necessary.
I think it's good for Portia to be out there, on the front lines fighting for us. A lot of people felt as though it was for clout, protesting for clout, feeling as though you're one way as far as protesting, but on the other side, you're against, like violence or whatever. But on the other side, you're over here promoting the violence regarding what all happened on Potomac. But for me, I'm giving Portia grace because she has a child, and I don't think she would put herself in that situation to, fight for our rights, her daughter's rights, and jeopardize her freedom of being away from her daughter. So I think it's great that she's doing it, and I don't think she's doing it for clout either.
Okay. My whole thing is like, that's even crazy that people would think that, like, for clout, she doesn't need to do anything for clout. Like, she's on Real Housewives of Atlanta, first of all. Second of all, I'm surprised that the hot dog king was there. I forgot about him. And then I saw him running. I was like, is that Dennis? Look at him. Looking with his taco meat on his feet and everything. Listen, he is I just, you don't understand how people get with some people, not to say he ugly or nothing like that, but this is the dude that dogs you out. Never mind. Anyway, I'm sorry. Let's focus. Portia and her civil rights activism, I'm all here for it. And I think it's amazing. I think she's come a long way from thinking that, it was a real train going on with the Underground Railroad. So we happy, that the intelligence level, the awareness level, has stepped it up, because she's someone I think that has grown throughout the years, and you love to see it. You hate when you see people stagnant. So I'm happy for Portia, and I'm glad, because at the end of the day, it really is happening. So we have to talk about it.
Yeah, I definitely think that Portia came a long way from that, not knowing where the world road comment was a few seasons ago to now actually being in the forefront of the whole protest. I mean, she have definitely came a long way. And I honestly, during this whole time with the whole George Floyd, murder and everything, I have saw Portia and them more on the forefront than most of our favorite rappers. So this is amazing what she's doing, and I can never knock, especially a black woman, from standing out to the front line, doing what she has to do. Kudos to you, Portia, for real. Kudos.
I won't say she was doing it for cloud, but I thought that she was doing it just in essence to have a storyline initially. Mostly due to the fact that there were a lot of celebrities just riding the train, trying to, get some type of notoriety from it. So I did initially think that, especially with a certain person that's not on the show anymore, with her answers and what she was doing. But outside of that, I was happy to see it. And I hope we at least get, maybe another episode of it because it was a lot that happened. And I just don't want them to rob Portia of that moment. Like, I don't like Portia like that, but I don't want them to rob her of that moment because it was so much that happened.
I definitely agree. I get Portia a lot, but I do appreciate her activism and I do appreciate her service. So
Um, okay, so everybody knows that I don't like Portia. Everyone knows that. But I can honestly say that it was nice to see her going roots, being that she was a civil rights activist, and to see her being out there on the front line with the people fighting, for our justice and everything else like that. It was a great thing to see. So I can never knock her for that. I hate that I cannot knock her for that, but I can't. So I would like to give a big kudos to Portia for just doing that, especially during the pandemic. Doing all that during the pandemic is a whole nother ball game. You risking yourself getting sick, all that stuff. So, kudos to Portia. And another thing too, when is it just me or when that was showing like pictures of her with her grandfather and I think her grandfather was holding her or something like that as a child. Is it just me or do I used to think that PJ really did look like Dennis with a bow, but she like Portia as a child though. Is it just me? Am I the only one that noticed that?
Nope.
No, she actually looked like Portia in that clip. I was like, oh, okay, that's not Dennis.
I mean,
Yeah.
all the baby
Right.
pictures, all of the pictures, especially like recently of
Hmm.
baby PJ, I think she looks exactly like Portia
Yeah.
when she was a baby. I think she posted a picture of herself like a while back, and ever since then I've been like, yeah, no, that's your baby girl. She's beautiful though.
She is.
Okay, so for the next topic, we're gonna go on and talk about Cynthia and Mike and his fucking wedding because that's light too. So we're gonna let the women talk about that first. How do you guys feel about Cynthia talking about the wedding, having basically a debate about it? Let's see what I gotta say first, then I'm gonna let y'all go. For me, I feel two different ways about it. I do think that Cynthia was coming across as a brat because it's a damn pandemic. So you can only have so many people at your wedding. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I get why she would want to do it over and have a different experience because we all know what happened at her first wedding. Her mama and her sister was plotting not to give that marriage certificate and all that other stuff, and it was just, met with a whole lot of hate and BS. So that could be why she's gun ho about having this wedding and doing it, I guess, the right way, despite it being a pandemic. So my take on that, Bundy, Jamie, Lisa, y'all can go ahead.
I think it's great that she was able to go ahead and have her wedding. In the moment, I understand the selfishness. I think it was a lot of selfishness going on with a lot of people because our lifetime, we haven't really experienced the pandemic. So I think it was hard for her to really grasp the full concept and still holding hope because I think we shut down in March, whereas her wedding was going to take place in October. So she still was very hopeful. And she was really deserving of that, especially with how her last wedding went down and just how her marriage was with Peter in general. So she found somebody that she really loves and she wants to share that with everybody. So I wanted her to have that big beautiful wedding. I completely understood where she was coming from, but I think that her ears were definitely kind of like closed to what Mike was saying, because it's like, hear what he's saying. Like at the end of the day, like this man loves you. Like he don't care if it's you and that pastor and him. Like that's it. He don't care where y'all get married at. The bottom thing for him, he just wants to be your husband. And she kind of, she wasn't really hearing him. And I kind of get that. You know what I'm saying? I've never been married before, but I'm sure I'm going to want I may want the big thing. It just depends, you know. So I wanted her to have it, and at the end of the day, she ended up getting it. She risked some lives, but she got what she wanted.
See, I'm like Mike in this situation. If it were me, I would be okay with going to the courthouse and then having a big wedding at a later date. Only because it just wouldn't sit right on my conscience knowing that it was a risk that would be taken. And I agree with you. I think that was a good point you brought up that this happened in March and she knew her wedding was in October. And I know it was a lot of everyday couples who weren't really sure on their wedding. They weren't calling off weddings until at least around like May or June. I also feel like Cynthia may feel a little bit of pressure, obviously, because her first wedding didn't go well, but that first wedding was televised and it was big. So I feel like she probably wanted to have this fairy tale wedding televised as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I understand where Cynthia's coming from, but her ears were closed. In this situation, I'm on Mike's side.
What they said.
Okay, yes, I definitely agree. Cynthia was definitely doing the most. But however, I feel like coming from if we look back into season 3 of Real Housewives of Atlanta, when she got married to Peter, it was a hot, ratchet, ghetto ass mess. We already know the mama and the sister was trying to hide that marriage certificate. So it was a wedding from hell. So I think this time in this season, she was going to go ahead and try to, redo it and have a grand wedding, because we all know that Cynthia had to pay for that last wedding, because her man didn't have any money. So now with her and Mike compared having money, I think is a good, she was really trying to push for that. But we are in the middle of a pandemic. Although she did it anyways, I wouldn't go if I was invited because I'm not trying to catch COVID.
So I guess I'm gonna be the oddball here. I hope y'all don't look at me wrong, but I think this was all for the show. Because if you really think about it, what storyline does Cynthia have if you take the wedding out the picture? So if the wedding didn't happen, then what does she have? And then currently, now that the wedding has already happened, now all of a sudden you're suing your ex-husband for funds that you deserve, but you're all of a sudden suing him now. So I think it was more the pressure of, if I don't have this wedding, then it's not going to be televised. I'm not going to have TV time, so I'm not going to be on the show. So that's what I think it is.
We can agree to that.
All facts. I like that point.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I do. Totally 1010%.
Well, even with all of that, her wedding still ain't gonna be televised because being that it was a super spreader event and it was 250 people there, they still didn't even film it. So unless she had her own people there with a camera and stuff, that's the way it'll be seen. But other than
She
that,
did.
Bravo did not film their wedding because it was a super spreader event. Oh, she
They
had her own
didn't
camera crew?
have, she had her own camera crew, and then they were going to give the footage to Bravo. And in order for them not to have as many people there. So that was with that. And then from what I understand, nobody tested positive for COVID after the wedding. And there was like the 2-week wait and all of that. And also, a lot of them, even though some people were pictured without masks, I saw almost everybody with those shields on. So that made me go purchase a shield.
Period.
Oh,
No, I need to
and
know
then
what's
on
in the
top of
water
that,
in Atlanta because they all going out. It's like they got some type of immunity that we don't have.
I
Girl,
ain't got no immunity. I've been in the
Houston
house.
too. Everybody was out
Exactly.
in the neighborhood cutting up.
The fuck?
I don't be out here with these people.
Houston too.
Where Jeremiah live? Because he got sick. Shit.
Okay.
That's the only one we know that was like out, with everybody and got sick. Nobody else. I'm waiting for T.I.'s old ass to get sick, talking about drink some tea.
Right. But they say they get tested every 2 days.
I'm sorry. I know they do, but hold on, wait a minute. I'm trying to understand why people always be like, I get tested. It's like, that's not a cure. Like, that just means
Right.
you got it.
You
But
can't
that doesn't
spread it.
Right.
mean,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then he go to didn't T.I. go to Regine's party?
I was there. It was open.
I
Didn't
didn't see him, but I
Okay.
saw
If I'm not
everybody
mistaken, he
else.
did.
Yeah.
mm,
Was Anique ready to drop? She was there, no mask.
Girl, I was just about to say, was Zonique pregnant ass at this
Mm-hmm.
party and ain't not a
Yeah.
near nutter mask.
Right.
Ain't not a near nutter.
Mm.
It just seems like some of the people in Atlanta just don't give a fuck. Like they don't give a damn. Like they like everything open. Like you go in the club, no one in the club got a mask on, but the club packed as a motherfucker. But ain't nobody got no mask on. It's just
Mm-hmm.
crazy to me. Like it is what it is. Before I get into anything else, let me just acknowledge one of these comments in here. You asking why we're muting mics and why we're going one at a time. As we said time and time again, there have been complaints with the audio. There have been complaints with the overlap. There have been complaints with the delay. We want you guys to hear what we're saying, so we have to do what we can do to fix the audio issues that come with StreamYard. Because if we don't try to finesse it, then that will still be something to complain about. So that's why we're doing it the way we're trying to do it. We're trying to make this listenable for you guys. That's why we're doing it. And it may seem like it's controlled or whatever, but we got to do what we do. I mean, it is what it is.
It seems as if y'all are gonna complain anyway, though. But thanks, though.
However, the next topic is in regards to Housewives. Oh, we're getting through Housewives of Atlanta real quick. Um, the next thing to talk about is Candy, the scene with Candy, Riley, and Todd, and them talking about um Block and the child support. Now the one thing I know everybody's mentioned up here and her UPS knows that she got. I know this what everybody gonna talk about up here. That's what the first
Latoya,
thing they
is
talk
that
about.
you?
But be that as it may, uh, be that as it may, even though her nose don't look too good, I will say that this is the most I've ever heard Riley speak on an episode of the Housewives of Atlanta. It comes across like she has a lot more confidence these days. But however, I'm gonna allow Bundy, Jamie, and Niecy, of course, to go first and say what they got to say as far as Candy and Block and Riley in this damn child support situation. So y'all go ahead. I'm gonna mute myself.
I'm gonna go first this time, so I can get this out of the way. I know for some people it's not a big deal, it's her nose and all of that, but I feel like you could have paid for some fucking therapy for Riley so that she would be able to see herself through new eyes. Cause this last little episode showed us that the girl got problems. Okay. She's sitting up there acting like she's not bothered by Block not being there for her, but she is. Okay. She's bothered. And Candy, yes, you don't need the money, but fuck that. Okay. As soon as he said that she was acting like a ghetto bitch or something like that. Run me all my motherfucking money down to the cents, nigga. Do you hear me? Okay. I wanted to go after him to the point that he'll go to jail if he don't pay it. Because I feel like that's so disrespectful for you not to be there for her, not even at all throughout her life. Come in her life, make promises, disappear, be there for your other kids, and now you want to tell Candy that she don't need the money and she acting like a broke bitch? Yeah, I think that she should take him for all he's worth, and I still think she need to get some damn therapy for Riley because Riley got issues that she's not dealing with.
I agree. I agree. I think Riley definitely needs some therapy. I also don't think that this is going to be Riley's last nose job. I think more are in the works for her. I don't think that she needed the work that she did get done. But you know how I go. She gonna get it done again. Especially if she don't get the therapy for herself. When it comes to like the $100,000, I'm here for all that. I don't give a damn how many millions I got. I don't care how many. Run me my motherfucking money. And to be honest, it's really more so for her child. Like I have a child. My son will be 17 in a few months. I get child support, but that ain't my money. I get that to my son so my child
Girl,
won't have
how
to
old are
manage.
you?
How?
Wait
I'm
a
not
I'm
messing
sorry.
with you
Yes,
minute.
I
in
was just about
the
to ask
house.
you.
17? How?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
mess
thought you were
with you,
like
girl.
23.
I thought you were gonna
I
say
appreciate
7 and stop there. And I
it.
what?
Because I
Yeah.
feel like I'm not old enough to have a 17-year-old, and I could have sworn we was in this same area. But go on, girl.
I mean, we got time. But yeah, so like that money, I don't use that money. I use that, that's for my child. So should it have been 100,000 or whatever? You damn right. My child going to NYU, absolutely, you're gonna run me that money so that she can go to school. I think Riley was right in what she said. Like it's time for him to step up. But I kind of felt a way when Candy was like, if he calls, you got to be open to talking to him. No. Yeah, she does. But I like when Todd came around and said, well, you got to understand he set that up for her. So if it's a bit uncomfortable for her to talk to him like that, that's not her fault. That's his fault because he should have been doing his part. And another thing I just want to put out there, I put it on my video. I just want these men to understand that even when a child turns 18, that don't mean you off the hook, baby. If you got money in the rearage, okay? That lady still can go out and get her coin. So you come out better going ahead and doing right on the front end before she get that ass on the back end. Okay. But yeah, I say, Candy, go get your money, do what you gotta do. If it's not for you, it's definitely gonna be for Riley. And she may use that to go get some more surgery. I don't know. I hope she puts it forward towards, her education, but we just gonna see.
I just want to know why the fuck she go do that. I want to know what conversation she had with Candy and what Candy told her and how they proceeded to go about doing this. Yeah. And now I feel like anytime I see Riley on social media, I do not see her without a full face of makeup. I think she's also feeling some sort of embarrassment because she lost all that weight years ago and Candy was posting her everywhere and then she gained it back. So I was like, well, maybe she felt like she was getting her nose done to compensate for gaining the weight back. It's just too much going on. She wasn't even 18 when she got the nose surgery done. It's uncalled for. So yeah, when I first saw that scene, I just cringed. I'm with y'all all the way. Candy deserves every bit of her coin for Riley. I don't care if Candy has the money 8 times over. He owes her that. And then my other thing is, while he does owe her the money, I don't want to see y'all talk about it again on Real Housewives of Atlanta because this is 4 seasons old. Like, y'all need a new storyline, especially if Riley is telling you that the relationship with her and her dad ain't going to go any further than what it is now. So I think they just need to come up with something new.
I have to go back to the therapy thing, right? For Riley to get this surgery or nose job, whatever she did, right? It's like she really does need it, y'all, because it's like she don't have a great relationship with her dad. Todd came in her life. She really didn't want him there, but she works with it as she goes. But also look at how famous her mom is, and you got to live in the shadow of your mom. So I think she probably just got a lot of stuff like going on in her head. She may not even mention it. So she may need to sit down and like really talk to somebody. And who's to say Candy probably already did that. So I don't know. I just had to highlight that.
And then y'all remember she was a part of that group with Regine and Zanique. And now they run without. Y'all remember that years ago? They were called like OMG girls, and they all.
I remember the group, but I didn't remember Riley being in that.
Yes,
I definitely
Riley
remember
was in the
Zonique
group.
and
So
Regine.
it was 4. Yeah, it was Regine, Zanique, and Beja.
Riley was in it first. Well, it was 4, and Riley was I don't know if she was singing or she was rapping, but she fell off like pretty quick before they even started releasing singles. And granted, she was a little bit younger than them, but I think she also feels like it's probably some sort of insecurity there as well, because Regine and Zanique are like the cute girls, and I'm doing air quotes because I'm not saying that Riley isn't pretty, but I feel like the therapy thing is definitely the way to go. She shouldn't have done it.
Guys, you're up.
Everything that the lady said, I agree with.
I second that.
Third, they done said everything. I mean, they done said everything. Like everything they said, I agree
already covered.
However, I do kind of feel where Niecy is coming from, though. I do feel like they're trying to make this a part of Candy's storyline, and I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear nothing about Candy and her rich people problems. Girl, I wish I had initially that I could get 100. Yeah, because I just, I don't know. It's just I feel like they tried to do this before, and then it was kind of stopped, and then like now it's coming back again. It's just like
It was, remember back in season 9 before the whole I won't say the R word gate. That was Candy's storyline before the whole foolishness between her, Phaedra, and Portia. But I don't want to hear this. I'm not interested in this storyline at all. I mean, I like the ladies. I made a great point, but I don't want to see it on the show, and I'm not interested. I'm going to fast forward those scenes.
how do y'all feel about them opening up a steakhouse? Because I said they gonna open up businesses after business after business. I said, damn. But I ain't mad at it.
That's how I feel. Like right now, I want a medium rare steak. Thank you.
That does sound good.
Yeah,
Hey,
the
I like my steaks medium.
The idea behind it was good. I think they said it wasn't a nice steakhouse on their side of town, so they went ahead and opened up one. So I'm not mad at it.
Good for
Yeah, me
them.
neither.
Because this restaurant business is hard and they've done really well for themselves. So I'm happy for them. Is there anything else in this episode that we need to talk about?
Yes, because
Yeah.
listen,
That's
Portia
it.
got
Before
locked
we
up.
move on,
That's the only thing that I cared about in this episode. Just being honest. I mean,
Kenya?
everything else was.
but
Oh, Kenya.
before we go into
Oh
that,
yeah, Kenya refund the Carmine.
I'm gonna say that for the end. But before we go into that part, let me just say this in regards to Candy and Riley and Block. Um, when I was watching the show live on Twitter, there were people in the comments saying that they don't feel sorry for Candy because of how Riley was conceived. Now I don't know if you guys know, but there have been some things that there have been some things being said in regards to the relationship between Block and Candy. They were saying that he was married, but he was, messing around with him. He didn't want nothing to do with Riley. So, but she continued to have Riley anyway, with or without him. So people feel like you was messing with a married man, and what did you expect, and all this other stuff. Like they saying they don't have no sympathy for her due to the fact that it was a married man. But I feel like that's ridiculous, and I just wanted y'all opinion on that because
I'ma
people
just
use it as
say
an excuse all the time to try to
he
downplay what she
was
got going
he
on.
was a motherfucking deadbeat. And whether he was married or not, that has absolutely nothing to do with him being responsible for a child that he laid
Okay.
down to
You
have.
created,
Okay.
yes. Facts. All
Period.
facts.
He
Like
the one
you
who was
laid
in the
down
whole
with
fucking
her.
marriage. Exactly.
So how did what?
She didn't fuck herself.
Exactly.
What's wrong with y'all?
Right. Right.
And half
Right.
the people saying that is came from
It's
an
always the woman
affair.
fault. It's
So
always the
I
woman
mean,
fault. Like
sweep around your own front door.
I just don't
Exactly.
like that whenever these things happen, we as a community always tend to say of the African American woman. Like it's all their fault. Like it takes two to tango. So why is it that all this heat comes to Candy, but Block ain't getting?
Exactly.
We need to stop trying to
Exactly.
absolve men of they BS. You know, like I understand we're in a patriarchal society and all the other BS, but let's not do that.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't
Absolutely.
gonna never happen. That ain't gonna never happen, and it's sad. Like you can have a best friend, he's married, got a whole family, but he got bitches all up and down the street, and you just go keep your mouth shut. That's just how most men are. That's how they operate. It ain't right. It's trifling. It's messed up, but that's just how it is. Like if a woman has something on the side, she's a whore. But if a man does it, he a pimp, he a player. He got it going on, and he who everybody want to be like. So.
And not to mention as well, due to the fact that he got other kids besides Riley, it's even more fucked up that he does for his other children, but does nothing for Riley. And I guess he feels like because Candy got all this money, oh, this bitch can deal with it by herself. She got all this money. She don't need my help. She can do it by herself. And I think that's the mindset that a lot of these women that watch this show have. Candy got money. She can take care of her own damn child. But at the same time, that's also his child too. So what is he like? Y'all think that he's not supposed to help her with anything because she got the money?
That's the
Like
I
I don't
it's the
understand a lot of
principle.
what comes out
That
here
don't
like
make any
that.
sense. It's
I
the
would like to
principle.
say to all of those women who feel like that, congratulations, you played yourself. You've been mind fucked.
Period. Period. At the end of the day, that has nothing to do with Riley, and he should have been there. But hey, he got to answer for that when he go up to them pearly gates. So it is what it is.
Okay, so I guess we can go ahead and talk about Kenya and Mark. Okay, we can talk about Kenya and Mark. Okay, I for one can honestly say that this whole situation with Kenya and Mark, y'all go first. I'll let y'all go first.
Is Kenya
I'm
still
just
with
gonna
Mark?
say that's what she said. She posted him for Thanksgiving. He was at the house, couldn't keep
I
his
thought
eyes
she
off of her, praying and everything.
right. I thought she was, and that completely changes my view of watching this show.
I
Like,
didn't know that. I don't follow her.
yeah, I don't either, but I could have swore
I
she just
saw
did
it
an
on
interview not too long
some
ago on
pages.
Watch What Happened. So whenever they
Mm.
opened up the Kenya scene, I immediately like y'all. I don't like Kenya. Let me first say that I don't like Kenya.
Who does?
Well, some people do.
It's a
Some
bit
people
shaky
like.
for me.
Some people love the
Yeah,
villains.
Kenya has grew on me a tad bit. She has grew on me a little bit, but
Like
Nah,
still,
fungus, she'll grow on you.
oh,
any.
girl, not fungus, sis, not
Yep,
fungus.
right. Any feeling that I have for
Jesus.
her
I can.
is. Oh, go
I'm
ahead,
in.
Scotty.
I said I'm indifferent when it comes to Kenya. I don't hate her, but I also don't like her either. But it's more of I like her better than Nene, but Nene's no longer here, so there's no need for me to talk about her. But
I
other than
think we
that,
can agree to that as
no.
well.
I gotta disagree. I gotta disagree.
Really?
Yes, I like Nene.
Oh my god.
I do. I do.
Okay.
What I do. But we can
Oh,
save that like for
girl.
that's like a long conversation. And I have like reasons why it's a long conversation. But Kenya, whenever they opened up the season and I saw her sitting in that car and I could
Mm-hmm.
tell that she had gained weight and then Cynthia had already said that she was in a depression, I was like, wow, like I might feel for her this season. And then she goes to the attorney's office again for the umpteenth time, having the same conversation because this ain't the first time that we knew that she didn't have a prenup. And this is also not the first time that we know that he talks to her in an abusive manner. So the lawyer ended up telling her, like, you need to soldier up and basically do what you're going to do. I don't think that Kenya, I think she may be a little bit concerned about the custody issue, but at the end of the day, that man barely wants to be a part of the family. So if you wanted to go ahead and get your divorce, you could have been and got your divorce. And I don't think that would be a huge concern. I don't think he's going to want to take Brooklyn from you. I think the biggest concern should be your coins. So, yeah, especially knowing that she's back with him now, and I'm saying with him because she's like another Giselle having a man that live in your phone. I'm like, I don't think I can feel for her this season.
Yeah, I
But
think Kenya is fucking with Markov hope and fear of embarrassment. I don't know why, but I will say how y'all spoke about Candy and rehashing the same storyline. Kenya, you gave me this last year, just like Portia gave us the situation with Dennis like 2 years in a row. Now she got a whole different storyline. I need something else. I need something else. And Nene not here, so what y'all gonna do? Y'all, I need a little more. I'm not really interested in nothing that's really going on between Kenya and that man Mark. That's all I got.
Okay. I'm gonna say this. The only thing is that it is real life. You know what I'm saying? So even though we are tired of the back and forth, this is usually how the breaking apart of a marriage happens. It's not oh, we just decided it at one point and then that's it. No, you kind of go back and forth with it. So she may still be in that place, and that's unfortunate. But I think we know that Kenya is one of those people who looks great on the outside, but on the inside, she's a little girl whose mom didn't want her. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the way she handles people who she loves and cares about is from a place of fear that you know what I'm saying? So I feel bad for her just because I know that she's handling this situation with Mark like that because she's so starved to have people in her life that really love her and that, really want to be in her life. But ultimately, I feel like we can look back on so many times when Kenya has done and said things that were terrible to other people, and this just kind of looks like, a long game karma. You know what I'm saying? Like it just keep whipping your ass over and over again. And another thing is that I noticed that everybody is like mentioning that she gained weight. I didn't even notice the weight as much as I noticed that terrible makeup job. That foundation
right.
was ooh, woo. And I get it, you know what I'm saying? Because the masks are breaking me out right now as well. And I was like, I'm not gonna put makeup on because I already washed my face, so I'm not going through that. But still, it's just kind of like, why the cakeage? You know what I'm saying? Get it together, Kenya. You know, I'm not gonna drag you or anything, but honey, you can do better than this.
Bondi, we have to give you a new name, sis, because every time, like, we go to a situation, you give me Ayana fix my life, Bondi fix my life vibes.
The
So
psychologist.
I'm gonna call you Miss Ayana Blue,
Ayana
because
Blue.
Ayana Blue, because you be hitting the
Literally.
points. I'm like,
I like
yes, like it be hitting.
that.
Well, y'all know I'm old. I'm sorry.
I
But she
totally
does
agree
have,
with Bondi.
but she does have a point though. I mean, because
Go ahead.
if you really think about it, okay, if you really think about Kenya's past as far as her childhood is concerned, it all goes back to the fact that her mother did not want her and that her mother did not love her like that. So when you're a child and someone that's supposed to give you that guidance, that love, and they don't give to you, and that's the first place you're supposed to get it is from your mother, you're gonna grow up looking for that. You're gonna grow up looking for that type of love in some kind of way, and sometimes you will find it. You'll think you found it, and you're gonna be captivated by it. Even if it's wrong for you, you're still gonna be captivated by it, and you're still gonna want it. And I feel like she really does, regardless of the fact that it's a toxic situation. She really does love, really wants that family that she never had, and she wants to give her child that family that she never had. She doesn't want her child to grow up the same way she did, but at what cost? You know what I'm saying? So she got to figure that part out.
Right. At what
You
cost?
know,
Terrence,
yeah, I definitely agree with you on that, Scotty. I think that she does care for Mark. But if we go back into season 10, when she did marry him, it was very quick and very private, of course. But I think most of anything, Kenya wanted a child. She wanted a child. She realized she was getting older. And, she just wanted a child to take care of. And I think that her and Mark, maybe did hit it off first, but they needed that extra time to get to know each other, because now, as we saw last season, it was that man was acting a nutcase, being all disrespectful. And people was trying to say that Kenya was making him like look bad, but no, you can't. Listen, everything that's on camera, you're doing yourself, okay? I could tell that man has narcissist vibes, but I feel like she just should have like took the time to kind of get to know him more. But like I said, I think she wanted that child too, because she knew she was getting older.
I totally hear what everybody is saying, but I agree with Bondi. I honestly feel like this ain't nothing but karma coming back on Kenya. It is. Kenya said a lot of fucked up shit about everybody else's relationship, and now she's going through the same thing. And I find it funny that Kenya and Ashley are both receiving their karmas at the same damn time. I think it is hilarious to me. I'm just gonna be real. But I do feel bad about what Kenya's going through though, because I mean, she don't need to be with that man. And I love how Kenya and Candy keep being real with her. Like, girl, leave him. Like that be they shit. Every time they talk about it, they all but say the same thing. Leave him. He's no good for you. I don't like the way he talks to you. He's bringing you down. You're not yourself while you're with him. It's like, how many more times do we have to continue to have this conversation before you just decide to leave?
And
But
don't forget she not getting that good vitamin D like Cynthia said. I was like,
child,
little
please,
dick. Ooh.
listen. That's
Right.
because he's
Who knows
slinging
how long it's
pussy
been?
all around here, child. Okay, I know the T on Miss Smart, but we just gonna leave it at that.
Not Miss
Not Miss
Marty.
Mark. Not
Miss
Miss
Mark.
Mark.
Now he. Oh, let me. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna bash nobody. I'm not gonna bash nobody's character. Okay, let me keep it cute. But yeah, he does seem a little, just a tad sweet. On the sweet side.
And
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with his nose ring, because Tupac had a nose ring.
Seem a little sassy, like Nene says, a little sassy.
Did y'all know he had kids? I did not know that till last night.
I didn't know he had kids either.
I
I
did
had
not.
no idea.
I feel like I knew that, but it hasn't really been focused on. But her passing over that question, I forgot to talk about that in my review. We can tell he a deadbeat dad. I mean,
Yes.
Yeah.
that's what it sounds like.
Yes, and that should have told her all she needed to know if he had kids and he was a deadbeat. But like y'all said, she's so desperate and craving that love and affection. So So yeah, I still don't like Kenya, but it makes sense. Her story makes sense.
Okay, well, I like Kenya, but I'm gonna just go ahead and break this up. So I guess I'm gonna have the unpopular opinion on a lot of stuff tonight. First off, yeah, I do think it's karma. She planted a whole lot of seeds in other people's relationship, and now she's harvesting all of them pretty much right now. So there's that. But I also think, and maybe it's the part of me that I tend to not. I see the good in people, but I also see the BS. I think part of this is her playing it up for the camera. So in the event if this divorce does go down, they can subpoena Bravo to get this footage to show that she's in distress, amongst other things. Not to say that she's not going through it, because it's clear that she is. But I feel it's a little extra, and I feel that they're both petty. So on one hand, she's doing this, trying to sit here and force his hand, and he's also petty because the fact that he wants custody of a child that he's not spending all this time with, I think they're both petty. He's a narcissist, of course, but they're both petty. So I mean, that's my take on it. But I mean, outside of that, I do feel bad for Kenya.
I agree that
I
he's
don't
petty
see what
enough
was
to
so
make it hard.
unpopular about your opinion. I don't see what's so unpopular about what you said. I think we all agree with what
I
you just
know.
said
When he
completely.
said it last
Like
time, I was
you
like,
said
yeah,
it
we
all.
agree.
I thought you were gonna
Oh,
say
we
something
all
off the
agree with
wall.
you. So, yeah, I thought it was a while, but hell, we agree with all of this. Trust and believe me, we really do. Okay, so before we move into Potomac, because I know we have a lot to
We have a
discuss with
lot.
that, how do all of you guys, how do you guys feel about the episode, the premiere of Housewives overall? What are your thoughts about it overall? Does it make you want to see the rest of the season? Are y'all gonna stick with it out of habit, or did y'all enjoy it for what it was? I'm curious to know that. Y'all go
I'll
ahead
It
go.
and
gets
share.
a 67 from me. And if those of y'all remember the grading scales when you was in school, a 67 is the highest form of a D that you can get. No, the lowest form of a D that you can get. That's what
Yep.
I gave it because other than Posha going to jail, I ain't give a damn about nothing else that was going on.
Right.
Okay, that's how I feel.
Agreed, 100%. I don't think it'll pick up until we get. I don't know. It was so boring that I felt like they should have at least sprinkled in one new girl in the first episode to bring in some excitement. It was just like it wasn't anything to me.
I agree.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, it really did start it off slow. You can tell this whole season is just going to be like a filler season, very much season 11 vibes. So yeah, I was very underwhelmed.
I thought it was
Well,
just
for me,
okay.
I enjoyed. Yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was because it focused on real life issue that everybody deals with. Like I appreciated it focusing more so on the real life stuff. Like the even though a lot of this stuff we've already seen before, like the child support, the fucked up marriage, crying about a wedding. It's all real life, not production driven. I enjoyed that for what it was. It wasn't completely boring like Salt Lake City is, but I could sit there and watch it without falling asleep. I can honestly say that. But I think next week they bring Drew in next week, and I think the other girl, Latoya Ali, also comes in next week. And you all know that they were saying before the season started that she was starting all the mess, and she did have a peach until her husband said no. So now she doesn't have a peach, and that's why Drew is the only new girl with a peach. So, but I think both Latoya and Drew come in on the second episode. So yeah, so I guess that's we can close out the Housewives of Atlanta and go into these toxic ass Potomac housewives right about now. Oh God.
Yeah.
We're gonna start it off with even though it's so funny, I gotta like these fans come up with the funniest names to me, but I gotta I'm not even gonna call Monique the name, I'm gonna call her by one of the names the fans call her. We're gonna start off with Hood Nick and her talking to her therapist. And how we do. Jamie Bundy, Missy, y'all take the lead. Go ahead. and for a shot on Hood Neek, Goon Neek, and her therapist. Go right ahead.
So I could understand what Monique was saying in the show about feeling alienated from going from one point of extreme to another. However, I don't think that distracts me from the part that she played in the altercation. Um, I don't know. I feel like she's doing a lot of pulling on the heartstrings. We got the situation with her pastor, which I think that was genuine. I don't know. I just feel like I'm seeing a lot of distractions around Monique rather than like getting to the point of it all. And I feel like I'm not gonna see that until the reunion. I just I don't feel any type of way about the situation. Like I can relate to that, but do I feel like it was 100% genuine? Her discussion with the therapist? No, I think she brought it up as another way to distract.
I feel no ways. I have nothing to offer to Monique sitting down with her therapist.
Okay, so I actually was feeling some type of way because I understand this feeling. I had, my first school was all black, and I went from that to a school where I didn't have one black teacher. There were black kids there, but not one black teacher, and y'all know like that really makes a difference. So I got her on that end. And I do understand where Nisi's coming from when she says like it's a distraction. I don't feel like it's necessarily a distraction, but we're not dealing with the core of the issues in this therapy session. But I feel like it's because Monique is trying to protect her family. This entire situation on the show, I feel like is I don't want any mess about me cheating on my husband on this motherfucking show. I don't want him to have to sit through that. I don't want, us to have to talk about that on the show. I think a lot of this is because they don't want to talk about the real rumor, which was that she was cheating on Chris and, the baby wasn't his and all that. We know that's not true, but I think that's why she never sat down with Candace. So that conversation never got a chance to happen. So then the fight happens. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of her, I think, having shit going on in her marriage or in her family life that's going on. And because it's like too personal to put on this damn show, we gonna focus and deflect onto other shit like Candace and the girls and all of that foolishness. But besides that, the therapy session is but I will say this. I felt for her and I do see the weight loss. I thought I was tripping when she said, she was like, my appetite has been off. When they put out the reunion pictures, I was like, why does she look so thin? Like more so than she usually looks to me, because she's like an athletic built type person. But she looked like, small in them reunion, pictures that they put out. So when she said that, it made me feel like just because somebody don't necessarily feel bad about fighting somebody don't mean it's not affecting a life in a negative way. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that there have been some repercussions that we may not have necessarily seen from this fight. Whereas with Candace, I feel like it's just no accountability, no responsibility at all.
Part of me, I do understand where you're coming from, because whenever I first when the season first started and I found out that Monique was trying to protect her family, I was like, okay, you playing strategic. But I feel like after so long of talking in circles, it almost makes you look worse knowing that it's going to come out rather than addressing it in a way in which you have control. She could have controlled the narrative by, I don't know if she could have brought
She
it
could
up
only
or
have really controlled the narrative if she had 100% control of the story. You know what I'm saying? So if the friend has anything, any evidence or anything that could come out if she were to really, and plus as a married person, let me just say this, it doesn't even fucking matter. I don't want my husband to have to sit there and have a conversation like that being had with him sitting right there. I don't care how many times I got to deflect and talk in circles and carry my way out of a situation. If I don't want my husband to be embarrassed in front of millions of people about something that could be true or could not be true, I'm just telling y'all, like, I don't want that conversation to happen at all. So I understand what you mean, that if she had talked about it, maybe it would have had a different outcome. But I could also understand from her standpoint why it's like, nah, we just not having this fucking conversation, period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely agree with everybody. Everybody has a really great viewpoint. I'm gonna have to call Monique out later on the episode. I know we get to that, but in this scene, she all my life I had to fight speech was cute, and I'll just say that. But no, I'm just kidding. But I do get where she's coming from. I do get, her growing up and everything. But, I don't know if Monique has completely, fully taken responsibility, as we seen later on the episode, on her end. And I know we'll get into that later. So that's all I got to say.
I'm going to say I do think that the therapy session was a little bit much, but at the same time, coming from somebody that has his own family issues and whatnot, and just because I've done some therapy before as in the military, so I kind of I felt for Monique in that moment only because I realized more or less with me how when I interact with people, it took me a minute to realize that I react to people this way because of how I was treated so many years ago. So my first instinct is this, and I had to go all the way back and really work from that place to get to where I am now. Because I mean, before you say the wrong thing, when I tell you I'm on your throat like a pit bull, like it was like that. Like you're not even gonna remotely talk to me crazy. So I think for Monique, that right there of her being on the playground or her being in school dealing with that, I think it's kind of the same thing of in these moments, she goes back to being that little girl, like what I was saying last week with Wendy and Candace, how when they are in the presence of their mothers, how they revert to being a little girl. I think it's kind of the same thing with Monique, just a little bit, where some of the situation comes up and she goes back to what she knows, not giving her a pass in no way, shape, form, or fashion. I just see the therapy session different.
Um, I really thought nothing of the therapy session, and y'all know I see it for Monique, but I really didn't see it for the therapy session, especially when she talked about how what she say. She said she feels like she has to prove herself to the girls in the girls in the group. I took an issue with that because I said, for what? I say you have way more than Robin does. You have way more than what Giselle does. Like, why are you wasting your time trying to prove yourself to some hoes that really don't give a damn about you? So then again, now that I'm talking about it, maybe the therapy session did kind of help because you would have had to have gone through something in your childhood to feel like as an adult, and I'm living way better than these hoes do, that I have to prove myself or who I am to them. Like I'm just not. I won't hear for like I like you, Monique. I really do. But that part right there, I was over it after that. I'm just gonna be real.
Let me just say this to what you said. I totally agree with what you mean. Like, obviously, a therapy session was needed if your childhood trauma is why you are the way you are in this situation. But at the same time, they have given her a hard time this entire time she's been on the show. Even when I feel like, she's been trying to like be cool with people and they just was still, have fever for her since the first day she came on the show. So I feel like I understand when she says, she's trying, always trying to get them to like her because this is the setting. You know what I'm saying? This is the girls that I'm working with. This has to work for me to get this check. And it's just like, no matter what, it's always an issue. As somebody who very much annoys people by just being themselves, I kind of identify with that. But I also feel like, I need therapy too. So.
No,
Yeah, that
you
makes
know what?
perfect
This
sense.
is reminiscent of what Tammy went through. Tammy went through the same thing on Basketball Wives. How nothing that she did, she could have agreed with them up and down, and they still would have took issue with her. So it's like, it's sad that you got to go through that as an adult, but
I feel like that would explain why Monique almost decided to try to work out an alliance with Giselle, knowing that Giselle was involved in the mess. It's that feeling of wanting to belong. And I feel like that's what she was trying to get out of it as well. Like, if I could kill two birds with one stone, get in with the good girls while also icing Candace out, that's what I'm going to do. And I feel like that's what she was trying to do.
I
Well, that
don't
was
think she.
definitely a
I heard
fail.
somebody say that they felt like she was trying to ice Candace out. The only reason I don't agree with that is because I think she didn't go to every girl and like, y'all don't need to hang with her the way they did her. But I
right.
still feel like she was upset with Candace, so she was trying to get everybody to see what, why I'm upset. But at the same time, it was kind of like they were all involved in it. So why? That's
Right.
what I'm still upset about, as it
Right.
pertains to Monique. Why would you sit down with Giselle when she was the
Yep.
main person who was trying to put this lie out on you? I understand being more hurt because Candace was your real friend. But ultimately, you shouldn't have had no time or no play for none of them hoes, regardless
Yep.
to this check. Bitch, I ain't meeting with you unless it's a group setting. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's
Yeah.
my only thing, with the whole thing is never understanding why you giving this whole slack. But you know what? That's that therapy shit. Because at the end of the day, it's because, it almost seems like Giselle is the gatekeeper. Everybody is up
Be the leader.
Giselle's ass.
Yep.
So it's like I'm bucking against you because I'm my own person, but at the same time, I'm tired. I just want to get along with you bitches,
Mm-mm-mm.
Well, for me, being the type of person that I am, I feel like if it's a pack of motherfuckers that don't like me, then that pack of motherfuckers just not for me. I'm not gonna do anything necessary. I talk to them. I'm not finna try to make things right. I'm not finna be sitting up there holding y'all hand at another broken egg, having breakfast with y'all
Not
to
even
do
for that good
shit.
old Bravo
The
check.
fact of the matter is, y'all don't fucking like
Not
me, and that's just what it is, and that's what pisses me
not
off.
even for that good Bravo
I
check.
ain't doing it. That's why I can't do no reality. That can't do
500K.
no reality
500K
I'll
a
do it for
year.
a Bravo check.
I can't do it.
Y'all can put
That's
me in
why I
a Bad
always say
Girls
I can't.
Club for a check.
Listen,
I can't.
I be
Right.
smiling. They call me the fakest bitch on TV for that check. I be
I
like,
can't
hey
do
girl,
it.
can't stand this hoe.
Nah, you know I won't like you, but we'll have a conversation for that check.
But see, that's the way. But see, that's what I'm saying. That's why I cannot do reality because I can't fake with people. Like, if I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. If I don't want to be around you, I don't want to be in the way. Giselle, you already know that Giselle didn't fuck with Monique at all. So to see her sitting at the table with her, talking about Candace and all of this other shit, made her look stupid as a motherfucker. Because at the end of the day, you sit up here talking to a bitch that don't like you about your supposed friend, and now the same bitch that you sitting up here talking about your friend to has now turned around and iced you the fuck out. You done sit up here and you done fought this girl, the same person that comes across like you wanted to ice out. You done fought her, and now the same person you was trying to plot with has, kick started the whole thing of let's not feel with Monique. We finna ice her the fuck out. And on top of that, my biggest issue with Monique is in this therapy session. First of all, I thought Monique was from the hood. I didn't know she went to no damn white school, so I'm confused by that. And number two, um, my biggest issue with Monique with this whole thing that I really wish that she would just up to the fact and just say, I ain't got no remorse. I don't fuck with that bitch. I wanted to fight that bitch because I felt like she betrayed me. Saying I feel remorse. I feel remorse. You don't feel no remorse.
I think she did say that, and they went off on her ass. So now it's like, well, bitch, I'm sorry. Fuck.
Right. Mhm.
But I'm saying,
Okay, Scotty. Right.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say is like with the whole hood thing, you can be from the hood and still get bused or drove to a predominantly European American school. That is a thing. I
Hello,
do want to
hi.
say that.
Same
But
here.
also, I think, but I think part of the
I can
reason
only,
why
I can
Monique,
only speak for, I can only speak for where I come from though, because there's a lot of folks that's from the hood around here that ain't never went to no all white school. So that's just where I'm from. I'm from a small town. I'm from South, so that's just how I see it. So, but y'all will understand. Y'all see that more so than we do because y'all from different areas. So that's I got what I see. But go ahead, you right.
but no, I think the reason that Monique wasn't fully going to just own it the way that we want her to is, I mean, how can I? All right, so I'll give you an example. Like with big corporations like Disney World, whatever. If something happens there, a lot of these corporations are not going to say, you know what, I'm sorry, I apologize. They're gonna clean up in such a way like, well, I'm sorry that you had this experience. Because the more that you cop to it, the more they be like, well, you said you were sorry and really milk the situation. So I think that she was trying to stay in a certain place to where I don't say too much because again, this went legal and we know that the tapes were subpoenaed. So I do think that she was remorseful, but okay, now that we done took this thing to the courts, okay, well then not like it like immediately following, yeah, she's not remorseful, like it happened. But I saw her starting to work on herself. And I think that had it not went to the court, she would have said, you know what, my bad. I went way too far. But now that I know
Right.
you finna sit here and take me to the court and run my pockets, I'm not finna say sorry for shit. Hell no, fuck that. And I'm wrong as two left shoes, but you're not finna hear me say it so it can be played in court saying, well, you see right here, they just said whoop wop de whoop. So, and for anybody, I am not coming to her defense. I am just stating what it is. Like at the end of the day, this ain't nothing but a game, and they're playing chess and checkers. So they're trying to make sure that they move in such a way that they don't box themselves in and really screw themselves over.
But in another sense, though, if you're really remorseful, you wouldn't be going out making no dance song either called drag queen and mocking a girl with a diss song. You know what I mean? Like that's another
Why
thing.
wouldn't
With
you?
a diss song, and then you say all this shit on social media. If you're really remorseful, why would you be making a diss song about whooping the bitch ass? You don't give
Because
a fuck about whooping
this
her ass if you
remorse
making
is
a song about
momentary.
it.
This
Didn't
remorse
she
is
say
Exactly.
she
momentary.
was remorseful? She said she was remorseful for the part that she played. Didn't she she
She
did some
specifically said,
wordplay on it.
yeah, she was like, I am remorseful for my actions, but I'm not sorry for defending myself.
Depending
And
on
that's because she felt like in the moment, she felt like the bitch got in my face and she asked for it and I gave it to her. And then I get on, we doing all of this back and forth. But the thing that makes me upset with Candace is like, Candace, you get online and talk shit about everybody.
Thank
Like the way
you.
she just
Yes.
went at somebody the other day, like a regular fan. I was like, how you gonna get on here and act like somebody bullied you online with all of the shit that you be saying? I mean, come on. Like, I just kind of feel like if you could dish it, you should be able to take it. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. We all can agree that Monique handled it fucked up from the beginning. It was
Mm-hmm.
wrong as hell. You should have talked to Candace, and it
Yeah.
shouldn't have gotten to a physical level. But every time they replay
Yeah.
that fight, I see Candace poke her back and then get dragged. So to me, that is not an attack. And I'll say it over and over again that it's not an attack. But Candace really tried to handle herself right this season.
She did.
And I'm just sad that it ended up having to be them because I really didn't want this for them. I
I
really
didn't either.
didn't. I liked them as a clique with Karen, and to see
Mm-hmm.
Candace being used, in all honesty, because they took on her beef just because they don't like Monique. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Because you know what I'm saying? Because it's
There you
not
go.
about what
Okay, we
happened.
speaking
It's
facts.
about you know what I'm saying. Go ahead.
And
They also took on Ashley's beef with Candace in the very beginning because
Yep.
they didn't like Ashley. So it's the same thing.
Karen
Yep.
is taking on Monique's defense only in order to not side with the ops. And when I say the ops, I'm talking about Giselle and Robin.
Yeah.
I think Karen trying to play neutral is just her trying not to side with Robin because she don't want them to win.
I agree with that.
I don't think it's just because she don't
And
want them to win. I think she don't like that they like to bully people because they did that shit to her.
Mm-hmm.
She don't. They're
but I also want to say
big
this as
enemies.
well. I want to say this as well too, and I said this in my review last night. My when it comes to Candace, I think that she believes that Gizzard and Rob really got her back and her best interest at heart. I don't. I really believe that that's
Yeah.
what she really believes because they got her side, and she wants Karen to do the same thing that they're doing. Little does she know Gizzard and Rob could really give a fuck about her, Monique, that fight, or her getting her ass beat by Monique. They do not care.
They don't.
They only taking her side simply because of the fact that they don't like Monique and they wanted to ice her ass the fuck out.
And
So
I
being
think
that
Karen was a better
Candace and
friend
Monique
to
got into a
Candace. Karen was a better friend to Candace than I have ever seen Robin or Giselle be to anybody but themselves, but each other.
Absolutely. Yes.
yes,
Exactly.
because they're not her friends.
Exactly.
They're not her friends. And I feel like at this point, because Candace and Monique get into a fight, they like this all shit. We can use this side advantage. Be cool with this girl. We're gonna be all up her ass and we're gonna do whatever we can to get this bitch out the show. We don't give a fuck about Candace, we don't give a fuck about Monique. So when you really think about it, Candace and Monique were the ones that got played. this
Yeah.
whole time. Now their whole friendship is
They
broken
definitely
apart,
are.
and but a lot of people don't want to place the blame thing on Giz and Rob. Everybody, some people feel like Ashley is partially the reason why Candace and Monique are no longer
They
friends.
Like
all
Now, do y'all
messy.
agree with that?
They
they're
all
all.
messy and sneaky and
They're all messy. Yeah,
underhanded.
I
Yes.
agree.
yeah.
But y'all gonna put this
Because
blame on
even
Giselle because she's the one pulling the strings.
Oh, she the ringleader.
I
Look,
put
she
it
the
exactly,
on her and
ringleader.
exactly.
Ashley. I think
And
that's your
that's why Karen
responsibility.
is trying to play fake neutral. It just, y'all know, it didn't make any sense when Karen said the truth will come out. Karen, you saw the whole thing. I think Karen is holding on to that statement in order to explain why she is riding for Monique while being neutral.
I don't know, just because I feel like she didn't have to. Like she could have just said, I'm neutral because both of y'all my friends. I ain't gotta pick a side just because y'all fought. But when the other side thing, I feel like it's something that we don't know yet as far as like the reunion and all of that. Maybe it's something we just ain't, privy
Yeah.
to as of yet.
It must
But
be.
I definitely feel like Karen, knows how to lie and finagle her way
Whew.
out of
Don't she?
situations.
Don't she?
But the thing about it is, for some reason, I'm never that mad about it.
Mm-mm.
Me neither. Like like everybody wants to get on Karen. Feel like Karen pick a side, and I don't think Karen has yet to this day picked a side. I think she just still has her feelings. Both of y'all were responsible for this. Get over it. Like I'm not gonna stop being your friend, and I'm not gonna
Yeah.
not be your friend. I know how to be cool with the both of y'all and still maintain peace between y'all. Like, and I just feel like as an adult, that's the way that they. And then plus, she's the oldest one up there. Like the way Candace was talking to her, I won't hear for it.
Mm-hmm. And I think she also feels
And
like in
another
this
thing is
situation,
real.
she can lend Candace the short end of the stick because Candace has the support of all the other girls. And for the sake of being a good friend, she is working overtime to hold support up with Monique in order to balance out the dynamic between the group.
Mm-hmm.
And I also feel like when it comes down to Karen, I just honestly feel like she's in an unfair situation.
Yeah.
It's like she's actually friends with Karen and Monique. I mean, with Candace and Monique. Gizzard and Rob ain't friends with none of these bitches. So that's why it's easier for them to do what the fuck they're doing. Like they could really give a actually cares about them both. But at the end of the day, it's gonna always be when you're in a situation where you're caught in between two people that have a dispute, it's gonna always be an issue. You spend time with that person, you spending with the other one, it's gonna be a problem. If you talk to them more than you talk to the other person, it's gonna be a problem. It's always gonna be an issue. So it is what it is. But Karen also has to figure out a way to really finesse her way into the situation instead of making that shit just to get herself back. Like when you making that shit to get by, it doesn't make you look good at all. Because Karen can make up some shit, conjure some shit up to just to get by, and so she gonna look like the bad person.
I don't know what else she's supposed to do though, because they come at her from all angles. Like Ashley worrying about how much she drinks and Robin trying to air her out in front of Ray. Like they are constantly coming for Karen's neck. And at this point, I think she's just on reaction. Like, whatever, bitch. You
Mm-hmm.
say something, I'm coming at you. I know y'all don't really fuck with me, so I'm never going to like really have y'all side in this foolishness because y'all ain't right and y'all ain't right with the way
Mm-hmm.
y'all handle any of this shit. And the truth of the matter is, I feel like they put all the focus on this fight and on Monique and Candace because they didn't want us to focus on the fact that they ain't got shit going on. Like, where the fuck is Jamal, bitch? Where is Jamal? He couldn't show up this one time. All the money y'all got,
That's
and he
the
couldn't
real
catch a
tea.
red eye.
She should have brought him to the damn holiday party as the hologram because he's all virtual. He's virtual.
Not the hologram. Just go and
She
put
should
that
have brought him
It's
as
the
a
FaceTime.
truth.
hologram.
Put the FaceTime on the projector screen. Just show them, hey, what's up,
Giselle and the
y'all? And dip.
hologram, ladies and gentlemen.
But the one
Like
thing that I want for Karen to do
But
is just boss up and just,
but
what I'm saying? Like when the ish happened, she could have easily just said, look, and I mean, she did say some of these things, but just say it all at one time. Look, Monique was wrong. I talked to her. This is what this is. I'm not picking a side. Both of y'all wrong. That's it. I ain't got nothing else to say. And after that, if any one of them were to say something, just go ahead and just start clearing them. Like let turtleneck know, Giselle, let her know, like, look, until you bring Jamal over here, you can't ask me not a question about this. Tell Wendy, be like, look, Wendy, until you talk about this Osu curse y'all got and the student debt loan that you got and the fact that y'all rented this house just for this show, when you talk about that, then you can say something to me. Literally go down the line and clear.
Wait, they was renting a
See, I feel like she
they was
did.
renting a house.
But I feel like Karen
Damn.
did try to clear them the best way she could, and it still didn't matter.
I'm just
I
saying.
agree. I feel like she did try. She tried. There wasn't really shit she could do.
What I'm saying is, like, but you don't have to keep repeating yourself. And then something else that Karen should have done is control the situation. Like if it's all happening and it's involving Candace, like, you know what, Candace, let me bring you over here so we can talk, because this is you and I. This ain't got nothing to do with the peanut gallery. And then remove yourself, because what tends to happen is, for whatever reason, Candace has all this mouth any other time, but she cannot vocalize her feelings or emotions to Karen where the other girls have to do it. That could have also taken some steam out, pull her to the side, and
Well, she
have
did. Remember when they talked at Wendy's party and it was just the
she
two of them?
slithered. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then Wendy slithered.
But I'm saying, but all the other times after that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna just say this. I feel like it seemed like no matter what Karen said to Candace, every time they met up, the conversation had to come back up with, "I just don't feel like I'm getting your full support. I just don't feel like I'm getting your full support." And it's really because Candace and her mom. This loyalty. Candace's mom is the reason for all of this, if you ask me. Like, her feeling so entitled that her side has to be picked. I told y'all last time we talked about this 2 weeks ago that I felt like that's the same shit that happened with Candace's daddy, and the mama wanted her to pick a side. And now, like, that's the way Candace is. She wants everybody to be on her side, and if you're not on her side, you're wrong. That's where she's at with it. And I feel like it doesn't matter what Karen says, they just gonna feel like she wrong because she doesn't, she's not going along with the bullshit that she has no part in it. You do.
Yeah, it could have been that, as Bondi mentioned, but I feel like also, in addition, with her getting Karen to see things her way, I think ultimately she just wanted to make sure that Monique was punished. And I think she wanted her to be just as embarrassed as she was when she got attacked. To me, I still feel like it's an attack. I don't say like, oh, it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? But I think that's probably what it was. I think she just really wanted Monique to feel her pain.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't work. And it's like everything she tried, it just didn't work. So for me, I'm exhausted with the conversation because I'm like, Candace, I don't understand. Like, okay, it didn't go your way, but you still over here yelling, you still arguing. And every time you did, you still didn't win. At every step that you took, you did not win. So now what do we have?
So just let it go.
Next to
Let
next
it
thing,
go.
what we got?
Just let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Like,
I think we're all exhausted.
It seems like with every scene that they're in, it always ends with Candace wanting to talk to Karen. Girl, for what? You're not going to change her mind.
At all.
Get over it.
And it's like, I think some of it is because of the pedestal she put Karen on, of looking at her like a motherly figure. And I think she just assumed Karen was going to, you know what I'm saying? Take her in and be on her side. And I think that bothers her to see that she looked at Karen a certain way and Karen isn't looking at her in that way to say, oh, well, I'm on your side. I'm not on Monique's side, or Monique was completely wrong, or whatever. But it's not with it.
She needs to come out with a line of handkerchiefs. That's
I do
what
agree
I think.
with that. She needs to partner with Kleenex or somebody. And,
something.
Get a
to catch that mascara. Catch that mascara.
And the wig.
Okay, and the wig glue. And listen, did y'all hear what she said? I'm sorry.
I think that I think the issue with Karen and Candace, and I think everybody has said this already. I think that the issue with Candace and Karen is the group. The group has so much to say about their friendship. The group is always putting it out there that Karen is not supporting Candace.
Wendy.
Karen is not your friend. Karen is this. Karen is this. Karen is that. It's always the group always pinpoint what's wrong and what's not when it should just be them two. Go ahead, Jane.
I can't even say the group. I mean, for me, I'm going back to Giselle because I feel like everybody roll up to Giselle. I feel like Giselle, because think Giselle the one that don't like Karen the most, even though Karen probably felt like she didn't know Wendy and Wendy felt the way. I feel like Wendy don't know her enough to dislike her so strongly. So I'm like, that's on Giselle. Giselle was
Yeah.
putting that bug in people's back. Or that
Yeah,
battery in their back.
exactly. And that's child.
Yeah, Giselle definitely played. I mean, like I said, she's the ringleader. She's the puppet master, like Mondi said. And I also think that Wendy, with her side unnecessary commentary, did add fuel to the fire between just Candace and Monique as well.
Child,
So
that kid
everybody
had a
had,
dress. That
you
kid
know,
had a
like,
dress at
like
the
she was really
reunion.
getting on my y'all. Like, I know we're gonna get to it, but she was really getting on my nerves this episode. Like, girl, you were so unneeded. Like, you could have just been a friend to the
She
show this
got.
whole
Because
season.
my whole thing
I
is
yes.
people love to ask me why am I so upset that Wendy is taking up for Candace. I said I'm not mad at her for taking up for Candace. My issue is you could take up for Candace and still not ice out Monique because Monique didn't do nothing to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like I can still be there for my friend, but I'm not gonna be like, well, I'm gonna just write her off because you got your ass whipped over your mouth. I mean, girl, I already told you, punch up to get beat down. Like she ain't did nothing to me. I can, get to know her for myself and just keep her away from you. I could do that, but like,
I think it was tough for Wendy because she never even tried or came in and was able to form any type of relationship with Monique. So when you come in and you already see people picking a side, it's your first season. It to you as a new person, it's gonna look like, okay, let me stand over here with them because I want to be able to be back on the show next season. And if they book me, who gonna film with me? I'm gonna be in the same situation as Monique. So she may come around next season to being open and wanting to see things Monique's way. But in this season, her first season, I think it was a bit more difficult than that. And I also think because her and Giselle are sorority sisters, they probably connected on a different level. And that's how they went.
You do have a good point. Although I don't want to agree with it, you do have a good point.
Did y'all hear on the after show or whatever the shit that is, the after show situation where she was like, what she said that, Karen called her to come there earlier because she knows she has such an ordeal with taking her wig off because of when Monique pulled her wig. I was like, bitch, what does Monique pulling your wig have to do? I'm a listen.
I didn't see
It was
that.
on my Discord sent it to me, but it was like they little after show where they answer questions and stuff, and talk about the show. And she was like talking about that timeline, and she was like, Karen had told me to come early because she knows how I feel about taking my wig off because of when Monique, pulled my wig, and she was like pulling my edges, and I was just like, but are your edges still there? Because the wig was still there, honey.
I know, but she probably did pull on them edges though, the way she had a grip. Some of them could have slid. They could have slid. That's probably the traumatization that she's talking about that she still has afterwards from them. Some of them edges being gone. But I'll be honest, I am Team Candace. But them braids in that after show looked very attached. I will give you that, girl. They looked like they were in place. I did not see an edge missing at all. I
think she's putting 20 on 10. I think she's doing a lot to prove that she's so, hurt behind everything that happened with her and Monique. And I'm just kind of annoyed with it at this point because I understand how you feel, bitch. I sympathize with you because I know how I feel to get beat up, jumped, all of that shit. And it's not fun. Okay. It's not great. You feel embarrassed, feel like shit. But ultimately, you're on a show. And I think that they really ruined this season in a way, even though it was so entertaining and all of that. Yes. Ultimately, they ruined it for us because there should have been reconciliation. And now I don't know how I feel like we could have came back from the fight. I don't know if we can come back from the litigation after the fight.
Yep.
I think it may not be perfect. I want to say this first. I feel like Candace was doing what y'all say Kenya is doing with playing it up as far as a situation with the divorce with Mark. If anything go wrong, I think she probably was playing it up in case she did have a case later on. But I think that somebody got to be open. Right? Somebody gonna have to be open. When I think about Toya and Mariah, when they got into it, I mean, that was a brawl. They literally brought out, and it took some time, but they got back to where they, where they need to be. But somebody gonna have to be open in the situation, and we're just gonna see.
I think Candace
might open up.
I think Candace.
Say.
Oh, go ahead, Josiah.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, I do think Candace is hurt. I do think she feels a little bit of trauma for sure. But y'all, I'm not about to diagnose her because we was talking about that in the comments. I'm not gonna do that. But the reason why I'm so annoyed is because I feel like Candace is giving us battered white woman. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what we see all the time in the media.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's why I still think Monique was wrong, but I do feel like Candace is giving us battered white woman. And even Chris could see through that because whenever she found out that Monique countersued, which duh, she's gonna countersue because she ain't trying to go to jail. Chris was saying to her, like, what are you so shook for? So I think I'm just annoyed because I'm annoyed with the role that is being played. I'm not saying that she's not being at least a little bit genuine. I think her feelings are valid, but I'm just a little bit annoyed. That's all.
She referred to Monique as your kind on Twitter last week. I was like, what the fuck is that?
We talked
Like,
about
Right.
that last week.
it's hella elitist of you. And to me, after the
Yep.
fight, that's what I heard the most from her, and that's what kind of pissed me off. And that's why I wasn't
Yep.
mad that Monique was running around the barn. Call me ghetto and say I'm fired one more time, and I'm gonna show you ghetto. Like
Mm-hmm.
what?
Right.
Yep.
We
Right.
got in the same fight in the same place. And Jamie, I know you say it's an attack, but I think we can both agree they were both being ghetto up in them people's establishment. Because there was
I
a
can
lot of
agree to that.
Exactly.
screaming and
I can
hollering
agree to that.
and all of this before the fight even started. So don't do that. Especially in this climate, since everybody want to bring up this
The
climate,
climate.
Giselle.
Yep.
Right.
But what do y'all think
And
about?
another thing,
I'm sorry, Scotty. Go ahead.
another thing I think the issue is with this season is the fact that if they got into a fight, okay, whatever. But it's the fact that they drug it for the whole damn season. Like we've seen fights happen on other reality shows where it did not drag on the whole season. Like I don't know if you guys even watched the Real Housewives of Miami when it was on, but when Joanna and Adriana got into a fight, they did not drag that on the whole season. On the Housewives of New Jersey, when Joe Judice and Joe Gorga fought, they did not drag that shit on.
Were these
Teresa
people white?
got in many fights on Housewives of New Jersey.
You know it.
If these
That's
people were white.
that's another thing too. That does play a part. That does play a part. But even with Kenya and Portia, they didn't drag the Kenya and Portia thing on either. Nor did they drag the Cynthia and Portia thing either. So
I
it's like
think
I
because
think that's the reason
Potomac is a
why. And
little
I think
bit more snooty than Atlanta. In Atlanta, people be bout that and kind of understand if somebody puts something in your face, they get their ass whooped. Like it's a
Right.
little bit more understandable from the area. I also think everybody kind of forgets that Potomac is supposed to be a little bit more highfalutin than Atlanta. And so I think that's why the reaction is a little bit more severe because it's severe on the show. The ladies are dragging it out more than the actual viewers are. I think if they would have got over it, then we.
Yeah,
But
I
also
agree.
by them dragging it out, it makes the show toxic. It makes the show dark and toxic, and it also makes it toxic for those of us that talk about the show. The comment sections are the most toxic things about reviewing the show. So being that the show is toxic, our comment section gonna be toxic too. I know Josiah had something that he wanted to say, so I'm gonna let him go ahead
No,
and
I'm
get
sorry.
that on out. Go
It
ahead.
was the look. It was the talk show host of me. I was about to switch gears to the men of the show, Chris and Michael and them, but I'll let you do that. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to say about the
Okay.
show. I just wanted to say this real quick about the show. I think it got real dark after the legal situation happened because most of the time I'm used to seeing on Potomac when people get into it, somebody's always coming. You need to apologize. You need to apologize. And we didn't even really get to see on camera Karen and Ashley actually say to Monique, you should apologize to Candace and even try to get them to come to a place where they could talk like what they normally do. You know what I'm saying? But I guess it went physical and it was a legal situation, so it was impossible. But it's like if y'all gonna continue to put this lady on this show and show us her beautiful little kids and she not doing much, I feel like that time could have probably been used to try to get them to mend fences over the whole season instead of talking about this whole fight every episode. But I guess it couldn't go that way. That's all I got.
That's understood as well. Okay, so what about Michael? when him and Ashley were talking about Candace and Juan proposing to Rob, Michael was making all of these subliminal remarks about Juan not really wanting to propose to Rob or whatever he was saying. I'm going to set off the conversation by saying Michael got a crush and he real pissed that his man is finna get married to I would say another man, but they're gonna get mad at me for misgendering Rob, so I'm not gonna go there. But he's obviously mad because his man is gonna get married to Rob. So what's y'all take on it? I'm gonna put myself on mute. What's y'all take on it?
Child, that ain't no crush. That's his boo thing. Like you saw how he took up for him when the whole situation happened. Like that's his boo thing, girl. And like, listen, I ain't mad at him, Michael. I'm low key hating, girl. What's your secret? What is your secret, Miss Michael? Let me find out how you got devil dick the way that you did. I would look. Hey, can't nobody tell me nothing different. I honestly believe that it's something fishy, strange, weird going on betwixt the both of them. It is.
Michael go with Juan, but Juan don't go with Michael. I think that's what it is. And I think Michael was just being a hater. And I also think, fast forwarding real quick to the end of the episode when he says, through everything I've had your back, I really think he was talking about the situation with Robin and Giselle and them like turning on him, but talking about, whatever he did last season, but he still was cool with Juan the whole time. He didn't like turn on Juan and feel a way about Juan as he did about Chris. I think that's what he meant. I don't think it was that, they got something going on. But TBD.
I thought he was saying, whenever he said through everything I've had your back, I felt like he was almost trying to cover his tracks because he knew that him saying that Juan wasn't going to propose was being filmed. So I think he was trying to tell him in advance, kind of like whatever happens or like whatever you see from this, just know I had your back.
That's a good standpoint.
Now, Michael, I will say this. He is the Peter Thomas of Potomac. He definitely is. He is in love with Juan. He definitely wants Juan Ping. And I think Juan knows that. I think he knows that. You basically all out suggesting going on a damn honeymoon to Las Vegas with no cameras with this man. You suggested it, but Juan is all, I don't know. I feel like Juan feels like he can't call this man out on his motives because Michael continues to say that he's straight.
I feel like Michael is doing something, like it must be some type of money situation. He helping him out with the financials. It's something going on as to why Juan keeps ignoring all of Michael's sexual advances. Because I peeped the way Michael was looking at Juan when they were all talking when Chris had came over and he was like, Juan always looks amazing. The way he was looking at him, I was like, that is in love with Juan.
Yeah, he is.
Juan knows that shit. And I think Juan is using Michael in some type of capacity. And that's why he kind of keeps him around and kind of ignores all of those uncomfortable moments.
Yes. I can definitely see Juan using Michael in that capacity. And I can also, Juan is the type of like athlete dude or like straight guy in high school that like, okay, the gay boy likes him and flirts with him and he likes the attention. Juan likes that attention. I mean, he's the type of dude who likes the attention no matter what gender or who it's coming from.
See,
I think Juan also stays out of drama for the most part, aside from tax issues or whatever Robin has going on. So I think that's just his way. Also, like he's just a nice person. He probably doesn't want to check Michael because he doesn't want to create some type of drama amongst guys. So he's just like he just brush off his advances.
Right, and then I was saying, who knows? We know that Michael has no problem making advances on men, whether they are straight, gay, whatever, because he
interested
already
or not interested
that cameraman. So who knows? There may have been a situation where Michael has tried to make an advance on Juan, but Juan may feel like if I bring this out, then maybe people will make assumptions about me. So I'm gonna continue to play nice with this man. So who knows? That may not happen too.
What was your first reaction when Michael told Eddie that he wasn't gay?
Lying ass motherfucker.
What Bonda said.
Because
Even
that came
Stevie
out of
Wonder can
nowhere.
see through that. Stevie Wonder can
That
get the
came out of
vibes
nowhere.
now.
Listen,
But did
I
y'all hear
keep
what the
hearing
guy
that
said
part.
though? The guy said, I didn't even assume anything. So the fact that you will offer information and the dude was like, I wasn't even thinking that. You know, that right there confirms. And it's like, yeah, you know, see your man get snatched up, which is one. So you got your eyes on somebody else, which is Eddie. So Wendy, all that talking you've been doing, you need to go over there and talk up and grab on
Okay,
your man.
okay, that's what you got to do.
Come on,
Because
Reed.
Michael is swinging the blister. Do you hear me? He is
Come
slanging it
on,
from the
Reed.
windows to the wall. Don't let your man get caught up in that window. You better get your man, girl.
And Eddie did
You
look
better
good.
get
I was
your
like, look
man.
at Eddie. We see you,
Eddie did look good. He really did. I was for it.
Yeah.
Eddie.
He
Wait a
did
minute,
good though.
Robin.
But did
Robin
y'all
said that
also
she
notice? What Robin say?
go ahead. I was
Y'all
about to
playing one
mention
too
how
much.
Robin said she wanted to be Wendy's hoe because she looks so good, and I was just like, Robin, just come out, honey. We will
Come on
accept
out.
you. Like
Mhm.
it's okay.
No, but why did I get that same vibe too? But I didn't want to say nothing. But she does give me, undercover lesbian energy. And there's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that. There's nothing wrong with that
Hello.
at all. Be
Okay,
you.
and I
We're in
would know.
2020.
I would know.
Yeah.
I know a woman that likes a woman
but
when I
the
see it.
Ooh.
but the people get mad with me when I call her Robert. Like, fuck out of here. But anyway, did y'all hear Michael when he said that him and Juan had a special relationship? What the fuck does that mean?
He
It means
got down on his knees and blessed that hot cock. How many times I got to tell you that? He done already. I keep trying to tell y'all that. Y'all want
Michael
to sit
wants to
up here and
believe that.
oh, he wouldn't have to do that.
Michael wants to believe he got a special relationship with Juan. He wants to believe that. I'm telling y'all, Michael is in a relationship with Juan, but Juan's not in that with him.
Exactly. I
Nah, but
agree.
he sure enough shoved his dick down the throat. Can't nobody tell me nothing differently. Because the way that
I can't.
it's like on a Nikki Parker, Professor Ogilvy type shit with them. Like it's weird. And for Juan to just feed into it, I don't know no straight man that'll feed into no shit like that. Not no real straight man. I don't know not one.
No,
Maybe y'all do,
they
but
gonna
I don't.
draw some
Listen, because
boundaries at some point.
Michael is touchy. When he was over there talking to Juan over there and that boy, he was all touching him, all in his face. I'm like, bro, I need you to get out his space a little bit. You a little personal space.
Well, maybe Juan may be a straight man that's confident and comfortable with himself, that it doesn't affect him to be around men
Oh no
that
no 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 no!
are
It's not even
like
just being
Michael.
around
Oh
them.
yeah, no.
No,
I would never say that.
because my
Yeah,
husband
no,
is
I
very
agree with
comfortable
you.
with his sexuality and has been around a whole.
Hmm.
We used to have, when we were in college, there was a guy who was in our clique that was gay. So it's not even like that. But he's actively like googly eyed and coming at
Mm-hmm.
him and saying he wants to suck his dick.
Sexual
Like
innuendos.
at some point, somebody's gonna be like, "Come on, son, you're doing a lot."
Right.
Mm.
Like it's not even about being around
But
women.
I will go back to what Jamie was saying when she said that there are like football players and athletes and stuff like that that be playing on the whole gay guy having a crush on them, because I do know that when I was in high school, I wasn't out the closet in high school, but them niggas knew I was gay. And they would always do little shit towards me, like all types of sexual innuendos. Like they'll make gay jokes about fucking me, or they'll touch me inappropriately in front of
That mean
people.
they
But
was
nobody
gay.
would think anything was wrong with it.
Exactly.
My
Like
son
why
But
don't
touched
nobody
you?
would
me.
I
think
would
that
think
but nobody would think that.
But
Nah,
I
But
It
will
be
nobody
say
would
like
think
this.
that.
it though. They're just doing it
It
in
be
front of
like that.
people.
I
Wine,
will say this.
I don't know if I think wine is undercover. I don't think that, but I do think, like Jamie said, he's one of those dudes that like attention. So getting attention from anybody is kind of just a boaster in ego for a old tired whatever he used to do NBA player. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody's crazy about him besides Robin's ass. And listen, can we talk about the proposal and how like when did he ever say he loved her or he was like passionate? You know, he never once talked to her, not even in their therapy session. Like he really wanted to be with her. It was just like, you're my partner. I want to be a better partner. So let's just go ahead and give this thing another try. But it's like, where's the passion?
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to I didn't mean to put that up there, but since it's up there, that's a damn lie. People don't dislike Wendy just on Candace. What was it?
I
I
don't
don't
know
think
what
that
they
people
trying
dislike
to
Wendy
say.
because she's on Candace's side. Yeah, we don't dislike Wendy because she's on Candace's side. We dislike Wendy because she's annoying as fuck. That's why we don't like Wendy. It ain't got nothing to do with what side she's on. And another thing about it is that, and let me just say this too, because this ain't got nothing to do with the show, but this also comes up a lot too. People want to say that we don't like Wendy because of the color of her skin and it's coloring. That's also this fuck
Let's
too.
please
I
not
could care less about the
bring
color of her
colorists
skin.
into it.
I don't
Let's
like
not
her
do
because she's annoying. Like, please, not. Please,
I will fight you.
no. That's
that.
annoying.
Yeah, let's not
Right.
bring.
Like
Let's
that's
Right.
how offended I am. I'm
Keep in
offended by
mind,
that.
these comments will tell you more about
Right.
the people commenting than what about you actually saying. So
Okay.
Mhm.
It's not even like we said she was ugly or nothing like that. Nobody ever said anything about her person. No, honestly, she be dressed the down.
yeah,
Okay. When she showed up at the party, I ain't gonna lie. When her and Eddie walked up, I was like, ooh,
they look
they
good.
look good. So
She
I'm
look
like,
good,
where y'all
definitely.
get that from? Like, stop. This ain't the panel for that.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Um,
Go ahead,
so to
Uriel.
answer that for me, I don't like Wendy because when she first came on the show, you ain't know Ashley from a can of paint, but you went calling her bitches and all this other shit because of something that Candace told you. You came at her with this aggression that, and you didn't like that they were painting you as a, angry, dark skinned African American woman. Yeah, you give this same energy to Monique. I don't like Wendy because all you can talk about is your 4 degrees. Yeah, you ain't give us no other type of sustenance. I don't like Wendy because instead of allowing, no, I'm just gonna write it down, because instead of allowing Candace to talk like the woman she is, you want to be her mouthpiece. You don't have a storyline, so you, like the other women did, you attached yourself to something that had nothing to do with you. I don't like her because when Candace and Karen were sitting down talking, you slid your ass all the way down because you need to be in the scene because you don't want to talk about the real things. So for me, for Yarrell, spilling all the tea, I don't like Wendy for that reason.
Right. It ain't got nothing to do with the color of her skin, child. We just don't like her.
I
Y'all
don't
be
even think
reaching.
it's because she's Candace's friend. It's because the way she's handled the situation. There
Right.
is a way to be supportive of Candace without like falling on a sword for her or some shit. Like it just
Right.
kind of seemed like Wendy goes way too hard. You know what I'm saying? And it seems disingenuous in all honesty. Like you just trying to stay on the show or you trying to make sure you're seen. But it has nothing to do with skin tone. And
Yeah.
it may have the fans may feel like that, and I felt like the way they were coming at her with the aggressive shit when that first situation happened, I was kind of on her side. I was mad at Monique about that. Because I was like, Monique, you should have extended the invitation to her to let her know her baby
Yeah.
can come. If you're going to tell Ashley her baby can come, then you need to tell Wendy her baby can come too. But to me, the colorism was coming from Giselle and Robin when they're like dismissing her for feeling like somebody should have said something because I miss my baby too. It's like, oh no, you're not a first time mother, so it doesn't matter. No, bitch, but this is my first little girl, and I miss her. And if I could have brought her, whatever. But either way, I think we all can say Wendy does a lot just for the show. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
That's why I said the last time that she just needs to be a friend to Candace on the show. Pop up every few scenes here and there because Wendy gave me nothing absolutely all season. I like Wendy when she's on CNN, Fox News, being a commentator, not for the show in particular. Just be a friend of the show, say your little side commentary and keep it moving.
And y'all, honestly, I don't. I told you I don't think Wendy even cares that much.
And
Like, were her and Candace truly friends, or was Candace just her introduction to the show? Like, I don't even
That's my
remember
question.
what their connection was on the show. Now, as y'all
Right.
mentioned earlier,
Me
I
too.
think what's her name, Wendy, was just drawing the line in the sand and picking the side that made the most sense for her longevity on the show, and that was just that. I didn't see anything that was colorism or anything like that. Now, from the time Wendy stepped on the show, Wendy was the epitome of black girl magic. But the point of her trying to force the 4 degrees down our throats, that's where it was like, damn, girl, like, shut up.
Enough. You came on a reality show, bitch.
Yeah, like that's my whole
You
thing.
stepped down a peg.
Yeah, that's my whole thing. Like I'm gonna, they're saying don't downplay, but I'm always downplay that colorist shit on my end because I'm not a colorist. So when people come at
Same.
me saying that I don't like Wendy because he's skin and all this other shit, I'm gonna always shut the shit down. Just like they saying that my opinion about this whole fight, even though I place blame on them both, I'm saying because Candace is a dark skinned woman. It ain't got shit to do with a dark skinned woman. It ain't got to do with that because when Basketball Wives was on, I was taking up for OG. She's a dark skinned ass woman. So what the fuck does colorism have to do with? Like people, y'all be reaching, and that's just what it is. Y'all motherfuckers be reaching to prove a point, and the point still ain't being proven.
This
Period.
ain't the
It,
panel for
But
that.
it's
however,
okay, Scotty. Let's not even give it light. Let's not even entertain it. It's okay.
Right.
This
that's
ain't
why
that.
I said. But however,
Keep it the
do y'all want to talk about Rob and Juan's therapy session? Do y'all care enough to talk about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on, Ayana
Okay,
Go
go
Blue.
ahead.
ahead. Go
Come on.
ahead.
Right.
Okay.
Ayana Blue.
So first of all, the way Juan responded when she talked about how he wasn't hands-on with the kids, like obviously you weren't hands-on with the kids, you were playing ball, you were traveling. But the way he got upset and was like, "Don't do that," because you wasn't our marriage wasn't, it wasn't. And I was just kind of like, wait a minute, like he went far in that moment, which made me feel like
Yes.
he still has some resentment towards her. And I honestly think that based off that therapy session, he's doing this so that she can get that money. He is proposing to her and pretending as if there's a shot for them to actually be together for a storyline so Robin's ass can stay on this show. Robin might be in love with Wine and all of that, but in all honesty, I don't see passion. I don't see real like love. I think y'all are brother, sister, friends, baby daddy, co-parent, whatever. But there is no passion in that relationship. And in all honesty, when he started to talk about what he got out in the streets, he had more, googly eyes about the romance or whatever he must have felt with whoever else he was sleeping around with. He had more romance in that moment than he did during the fucking proposal. So to me, I don't see it for Wine and Robin, and I know this is gonna be their storyline next season, but I'm sorry, I'm not seeing it.
I'm not
Yeah.
seeing it either. I honestly feel like this is just for a storyline. I don't bit more believe that they in love with each other. I think they're just stuck. I think this is something that they've been used to doing for the past umpteen years. It's been working. And I guess Juan probably feels like, listen, I'll go on ahead and spend a couple ducats up here just so that you can have a storyline. But other than that, I'm nothing will ever make me think that he's going to be ever solely faithful to Robin. I believed that when he said it wasn't just the sex, that he felt emotional connections, and that's a totally different thing from you just going out slinging dick and then you coming home. You
He
running
said
around here pillow
romance.
talking with
He
these women.
said
Yeah.
Yeah,
romance, y'all.
Maybe he
yeah.
can't get that from Robin. I think somebody else mentioned earlier that she gives off that masculine energy, which probably could be tough because you got two masculine energies in a household, and it's kind of hard when he looking for feminine energy. And
Yeah.
I also feel like you might as well marry her. You ain't going nowhere. You been here this long. Y'all wasting each other time. Like what y'all might as well. She got your 2 kids. Should something happen to you, everything should go to her.
And
If
I'm gonna be
not, cut your
very
losses and really move on. But I don't see them leaving each other. So
Mm-mm.
they gonna be in this cycle for how long they been together? About 15
Right.
years. It's gonna be another
Longer.
15.
But I'm gonna be very honest and transparent. Even when Robin talk about Juan, I don't rarely see a connection. Like when she's
Mm-hmm.
very dry, when
Mm-hmm.
she talk about, oh yeah, me and Juan are doing such and such and so. Like, when a woman, I mean, well, I don't know, but when a woman is in love, I mean, you would think she would be googly eyed, super excited, and just give you dead energy, desert Sahara energy when she talks about Juan. So I feel like that is on both ends. And like Terrence said, I feel like they are stuck and they're just really tolerating each other. But I don't see that same
Ooh, shit.
energy with both of them. I don't
See,
think that they are, neither of them are in love with each other.
I
Yo,
agree.
I
Wendy
think they
was more
love each other.
excited than both of their ass. Then
I
that's
think they
okay.
love
Yes,
each
Wendy
other.
was more excited,
I
screaming.
think that so much has happened. Yeah, Wendy was doing too much. Wendy was doing a lot. I think she wanted to be seen. But
Okay,
I
I'm
think so much has happened between Juan and Robin that they almost don't know how to express that love because Juan mentioned in the therapy session that she had built up a wall. So I feel like they went through a moment where they were in love. Then it was this long partnership. And now I feel like they're trying to transition from a partnership into love. And I also necessarily don't feel like they're the type of couple to show a bunch of PDA. And that's why Juan didn't, go all out. Like, they not new to this. This is round two. He said in the proposal, "You are my ride or die. You've been there." So I think they're trying to peel back the layers to be able to express that love. Because the therapist even said to Robin, "Well, tell him that you're proud of him." She didn't even want to tell him that. So
She
that lets
couldn't.
me know they still have walls up.
I
But you
do.
know
I
what? I
agree.
always felt like connections, it's not something that you have to explain. You could feel it and you could see it. When I look
Listen,
at Juan and Robin, I don't get nothing from them. I just get this is just what it is, and everybody just letting it be what it's gonna be. That's just the way I look at it. Like when I look at them, you know, I mean, are y'all friends? Y'all fuck buddies? Y'all, I mean, and it just works, so y'all keeping it this way? Like,
Let's be honest though, and y'all know I'm not a fan of Monique, but Monique and Chris probably the only ones I see a connection. I don't see that with nobody.
yeah.
So Rob and them not out there on their own.
oh,
not Chris and Candace.
oh.
Now the way Chris stood up for Candace,
Okay,
then
you don't disrespect your wife.
you're right.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Chris
And
and
Wendy and
Candace.
Eddie too.
Yeah. That's what I'm
I don't
saying.
know. I don't
Like
Yeah,
know.
when you look
we
at
don't see
them
I
enough.
haven't
compared
seen
to
enough of
everybody
them.
else, it's just I mean, it's like Robin, I guess. If you love it, I like it.
I
I'm
like
gonna
the
leave
way
it
I
at that.
saw Ray supporting Karen this episode when they walked into the party
Right,
together. I was like, yo, so
right,
Yes. And he even
right,
kissed her on the cheek. I was like, oh my
right.
gosh.
they
It must have
trying.
went
They
down in that
trying.
bathtub scene, y'all, when she was talking about yoo-hoo.
That was
Cute.
absolutely no connection.
I don't ever want to
Listen,
see that
and Chris
again.
is sexy. I'm talking about like white Chris with his red blazer on. I
For
was like, all
sure.
right, shit. I
Nah,
see
and
what
the
you
way he
did.
So,
looked up, I was like, dang,
ugh,
Chris,
Mm.
Chris, I
He
need to know
fuck with
your
the brown
backstory.
people.
Like, was you raised by black people or not?
Yeah, he definitely was raised by black people. When he turned around and
He
he pulled
had
Michael
to.
back, I was like, wait a minute.
I'm weak.
okay,
Like,
look, I was over
Tubi.
here screaming. Yes,
Child, we would have went home and fucked that night.
period. Fuck them. We finna go. Let's
Okay,
go.
listen. Candace, I
That's
don't know
it.
what's going on with Candace.
Okay, so I guess we can move on to the party, which is the biggest chunk of the show.
Yeah.
And first of all, are we really surprised that the man in the phone wasn't at the damn party?
No.
Mm-mm. But I caught Giselle in
Were
a
we really
lie.
surprised?
Giselle lied. First she said, "Oh, he's busy. He lives in another state as to why he not there. It's Saturday. He couldn't be there Sunday." I'm like, "Girl, he took a whole trip to Ghana, but he couldn't fly up there for you." Got it.
Okay.
Then you turned around and you said, when ain't nobody talking about you, but you included yourself. When y'all asked Michael about Father Dean, and then y'all turned around and Robin was talking about how one wanted her to have another child. You included yourself and said, "Oh, well, that sounds like Jamal. He wants me to move to Atlanta, but he's never there." Like, girl, which one is it? Is he always there and he's away because he's busy? Or which one is it? So he could be everywhere in the world but with you. Got
It
it.
ain't
Okay.
real, y'all. It ain't
Mm-mm.
It
At
real.
ain't
all.
real.
No.
It just
So
seems
we
like
weren't
she
surprised.
always puts the gay boy out the letter to be her damn date. And I'm just like, but every time I turn around, she's always got something to say about Ray and got something to say about Michael. I'm like, girl, where is your man? You got so many opinions about everybody else's, but where is your man, girl?
And Robin
That would
felt
have
the
been
same
my whole
But
way.
thing. Like,
but I always want to get upset when somebody brings up her man in the phone. See, that's the shit I can't stand
Michael went
about
in.
Gizzard. She
Michael
has
was
so
like, he
much
should
to
he get with
say.
you.
She has so much to say about everybody. So much to
Michael
say
was
about everybody,
dying.
but can't nobody say nothing about her man in the phone.
Right.
Girl, bye.
She was like, shut up, Michael. Michael was like, but no, if he's your man, he should want to be with you. He should be here. I was like, Michael, go the fuck in, because they be all in your business.
And that's exactly what he was trying to do.
Exactly. I was here for him in that moment. I was. He was spraying Giselle ass down. I said, come on, give it to me, Michael. Come on, let the country come out of you, Michael. Yes, Michelle. God. See, Michael coming out slowly but surely.
Okay, so let's the part where I think it was Ashley, Ashley, Giselle, and Rob. They were talking about Karen possibly not showing up due to, I guess, a malfunction with the plane. My two questions for you guys is, do you think that Karen made this shit up? And number two, what did you have to say about them trying to go in on Karen because she let them know that she couldn't come? Because Rob annoyed me because she said, I'm kind of glad that Karen isn't coming because she tried to throw Juanita under the bus when we were in Portugal. But at the same time, you be throwing Ray and everybody else's man up under the bus, so why can't nobody say nothing about Juanita? But okay, y'all go ahead. I'm gonna let y'all take it.
The thing that kills me about Giselle is always so giddy and always such in a rush to run down on somebody about people. Like, she was so excited to say, oh, but this ain't why she coming, because the kitchen got hot because she a liar, and this is what because she a liar, and she ain't coming because she a liar. And it's just like it pisses me off because Giselle loves to sit up and try to act like she's just such this perfect person, this, that, and this, and she's not. Like, you're just as flawed as everybody else is. As far as Karen goes, I mean, I don't want to say that Karen is lying, but Karen has done a lot of backpedaling, the coochie popping, and the handstand. So I don't necessarily want to say she lying, but
yeah, I don't think she's lying because I think I heard it somewhere where she actually did a video while she was actually at the airport. But regardless, a lot of it is just Sockneck just deflecting, because again, everything that she's saying about Karen is what's relevant to her. Because why are you so worried about Karen not coming? Why collection plate not there? Like, I really don't understand. But that's all this stuff. What, buddy? Why you looking like that?
Collection plate. I'm dead.
That's new. That's new.
I mean, that's what you call is, right?
You're right.
Child, not the collection plate.
I'm dead at that.
If we know anything about Karen, we know that Karen is gonna bullshit, and she is gonna bullshit to your face, not because she knows that it sounds like a good lie, but because she thinks that everybody else is undeserving of the truth. So whether she was lying or not, it don't matter. And I don't think that Karen was scared to show face at the party, because, like I said, one thing she gonna do is lie to your face, regardless of what it is.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Miss Niecy. I think that she was not scared to. Oh my God!
I'm still stuck on him calling Jamal collection plate.
Ooh, try get some water. Don't pass out now.
Okay.
He called him a collection plate. Go ahead, Josiah. Look at myself over.
Almost done. You almost. That would have been a real blooper. But
I'm sorry, Josiah. Go ahead, baby.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, I just feel like that she, Karen has lied, and that's one thing I hate because I'm a huge Karen fan. But I do have to call her out because she does lie a lot. Unfortunately, she needs to get that together, child. I mean, just be real, stand up to who you are. But I think in this instance, and through the text message, I do feel like that she was not lying, because if she was lying, she wouldn't have showed up, period. But she did show up. Maybe she, like Niecy said, maybe it was exaggerated. Maybe she was like, oh my God, I got to deal with these girls. I know they're about to be on some BS, whatever. Let me just pop up late and deal with it and dip. Maybe that was the case, but, yeah.
I feel like I think this is one of them times she wasn't lying. Like, for what? When she really could have just said, I don't feel good, I ain't coming. Like, she could have just ran with that. Why say my plane was derailed? You know what I'm saying? And then when her and Ray showed up and Sharice and her bang, and Giselle are over there talking
Girl.
cash money shit. And y'all notice how her and her bang disappeared when Karen came into the
Right.
circle. Then
I
all of a
forgot
sudden we
Sharice
didn't
was
see her
there.
no more. But I was annoyed because I feel like they talked about her basically the whole party. They talked more about Karen than
Mm-hmm.
they
Mm-hmm.
did Robin. And it was Robin's
Mm-hmm.
party. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, I just feel like y'all all look like a bunch of haters. Y'all hate on
Mm-hmm.
Karen so hard. And even if she did lie, like what difference does it make to you the reason why? She still showed up.
Right.
And at the end of the
Right.
day, like
Right.
you said, Nisi, she will lie and finagle in your face. She ain't scared.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know where they get that from. She doesn't want to be held to the fire. Child, please. That's what Karen does. Karen show up, be held to the fire, tell y'all fuck y'all, and then leave early. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, I was actually surprised that they put Sharice's name on the screen. And
Yes.
Sharice has
Like,
been
why do we
here.
still have to see her?
I think they're trying to prep us for the reunion. I'm telling you, because she played a huge part in this. So she was at the engagement party, and I don't think they put her name on the screen. We just knew she was there. Then
No,
she was
she
at
did.
the
They
baby
did.
naming. They did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then she was at Wendy's baby naming ceremony, and I had to rewind my TV a couple times, and they never announced her being there. So I feel like now they announcing that this is Sharice, because really they didn't even have to show Giselle and Sharice talking. They didn't have to say anything about Sharice being there. They could have done her the same way they did her at the baby naming ceremony. But
Mm-hmm.
I think they're trying to prep us for what's gonna go down in this reunion.
And I
Because
have a
even when
question.
Giselle was telling her what happened, like she was just all down to eat it all up, making all kind of faces and rolling her eyes. I'm like, bitch, girl.
And this is my question to y'all. Why do y'all feel like that? I feel like there was some scenes that Sharice was in that was edited out. I mean, she could have been like an unofficial friend, like a Shamia to the show. Why do y'all think that Bravo did not include Sharice in most of the scenes? And now they wanted to show her, throwing her little shade at the season finale. That was off to me.
I think they want to show her so that way the viewers can connect the dots of the true story of what is going on with Monique and Candace, because Sharice plays a major part in that.
Mm.
And I feel like they should have, I feel like, to be honest, from a show standpoint, they probably should have played that because we have a lot of
Right.
unanswered questions in regards to what happened between with the whole plot, so to speak. That's why they should have played it. But it just goes back to what Bundy did. Monique probably wouldn't have wanted it to be played out on the show for the sake of her family. She may not have wanted it to be played. And I really feel like Sharice probably was being prepped to film as like Josiah Shamia or maybe even a Tanya or something like that this season so they could play off that storyline. But being that Monique probably was like, look, I don't want this affecting my family. I don't want to show this. They probably just cut her ass out because let's also think about on the House of Atlanta that season that Nene and Phaedra, when Phaedra first came on and Phaedra went and filmed with her half sisters. We never got to see that shit because Nene stepped in and said what she had to say in regards to it. Probably was a storyline that was set to be played out, but Monique probably was like, "Look, if y'all play this story out while I'm on this show, I'm walking away because I don't want to affect my family with that." And that's probably why Sharice popping up here and there. They probably did cut the scenes out.
And let's not forget, I think everybody is going to be surprised. Chris, Monique's husband, was pissed about this situation. So I
Oh
think
yeah.
people are underestimating what that must have been like for her at home and then having to make sure that that shit was contained on the show because he was pissed. And
Mm-hmm.
we see at the reunion, he's like, let me handle this shit. Like when he stands up to say, let me handle this shit, that's how you know like it didn't got to this level. And
Right.
I can't wait. That reunion gonna be some damn good. That's gonna be some money for
It
me,
is.
child.
I can't wait for
It
it,
is.
child.
Yeah, I feel the same way. But Sharice and her bad wigs have always been annoying to me. So I mean, it is what it is. So fuck
Now
it.
she is
What
a
they
gutter
say,
snipe, straight up out the
like you
hood. I
said.
have never seen it for her. I've always thought she was fake as hell. Everything about
Oh,
her is fake. She's fake then, she fake now. I don't want to see Sharice no more. Sharice ain't bringing nothing to the fold. If Sharice ain't got nothing to say, I don't want to see Sharice on my TV screen. Bravo, Andy. Truly Entertainment and everybody else around there. We don't want her.
Oh, not calling out the production company.
Yes, we don't want her. It's the hell in it. Take it back. I don't want her. I don't want to see her ass again. Nobody want to see Sharice so tight ass.
But no, I definitely agree with you. Sharice does have a very negative energy. She
Yeah.
reminds me of my aunt, who I do
Yes,
not
she
get along with.
does.
That mean auntie that be just throwing all this slick shade, side comments, mean mugging everybody at the cookout. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I don't like that.
Mm.
Yeah, she does give that off. She does. Okay, any comments on Candace's performance at this party?
I think it was good.
I thought it was good too. I did. I thought it was funny how they turned up the music right when she was about to end her song. Then they wanted to miraculously cut the volume up. I think they tried to play her.
They
But
did.
as much as I don't see it for her, I'm not gonna lie. She do a little yang 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 around the house. Now I ain't
She
saying I'm
can
gonna go to
sing.
none of her concerts or nothing like that. But she cute for singing in the shower or cleaning up around the house or something like that. I give it that much.
Ashley tried to shade her, talking about you could do a good go-go beat over anything, but bitch, where's
Bro,
the song at that you did?
They
Jamie,
put
I
all
thought
that
I,
that you did,
on
Ashley.
Ashley. And she
Jamie, I
still
thought I
didn't
was the
sound
only
right.
one that caught that shade, bro. Like I was like,
No,
oh
I
no,
said
she
something
didn't.
about that.
That
Like
was
you
definitely
know
shade.
that your song is not good if I can't walk around damn Forever 21 and shop in peace. Ashley, don't even. Ashley's song didn't never hit. Candace's song, I can at least walk around and shop to and be like, okay,
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
can.
She
Yeah.
has
Ashley
a
is
great
jealous of that
voice.
girl. Ashley just jealous of that girl. That's all it is. She cannot stand Candace.
She mad because Candace and Chris called her husband out for Juan's pin. Otherwise, she would be taking up for Candace, or at least being friendly with Candace like she was with Monique, because Monique actually had her bag hiding them damn tapes.
What I miss?
We
We
was
talking
talking
about
about Candace
Candace's
singing.
performance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm cooking. I feel like she did good, and I was surprised because the previews had me nervous. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh God, please don't be off key. Please don't be off key."
Mhm.
And she got up there, and the music was messing up, but she held her own. She was in the back of her
Mhm.
throat, real good, and supported up and through the
Mhm.
diaphragm. So I was proud of Candace. I thought her performance was good, and I really like her song.
Mhm. Yeah, I like her song too. I ain't gonna lie, I
So
don't see it for, but I like her song. Her song is cute.
Yeah.
what's that face for, Scotty?
Okay, so I do like the song, but I don't think that she's the best live singer. So, and I'm saying that because when she sung in the past on this show, she sounded a mess the last few times she sung on the show. Like for real, like she did. I think when she was at her wedding, she sung something and she sounded a fool, and I ain't like it.
Oh,
And then this time when she sung at Rob's party, she didn't sound that bad. I give her that, and the song does sound good. Okay, so let's see. But Ashley can't sing though. Let's move on from there.
But
Let's
hold
not
on, can
forget
we
that Ashley
please
can't
talk
fucking
about?
sing. I don't know why she
Can
can't talk
we
about
please
Candace.
talk about though how amazing Monique looked when she went to her therapy? I just kept bringing up how Monique always just came up here looking impeccable. Like
Bro,
even when she was dressed down, I said, "Yes, God, Miss Monique."
my husband was like, I'm gonna get tired of liking all her outfits. I was just like, right? Like he was like, damn, she looked nice. I was just, and her little afro puff at the top. I was
Yes.
like, yes.
yeah, I did. That was a really beautiful look that she had.
Okay, okay. What y'all got? Did y'all already talk about Juanita proposing to Robert?
Yeah, we already talked about that shenanigan child. Move on.
How about the last
Okay,
scene of the show
you
when
talking about
Michael
with
was acting
Chris
a fool?
and Michael. Okay, we're about to get into all of that. We're about to get into when Karen got there and the girls confronted her about everything, and then we're gonna get into Chris and Michael. I don't know if we can say anything else in regard to Karen and Karen getting into it with the rest of the women and Candace yelling at her yet again about this situation. I don't think there's really much more we can say about that because I think we've already talked about that pretty much
I will say this. I will
already.
say this about that.
Go ahead,
The
Bundy.
way she disrespected Karen, for Karen to still go up to her after the whole ordeal and say, "Hey, are you okay?" And she gives her a hug and all of that. And it pisses me off the way Candace totally disregards the fact that Karen still always shows up for you. And for some
Hmm.
reason, you still feel the need to be like she's fake. Well, bitch, what are you when you hug somebody that you don't like and you just go along with it like it's fine, but you mad with her, but you still gonna hug her? Is that not fake? So it annoyed me the way she doesn't appreciate the way Karen is always being extra patient with her, and she was patient with her last season, and she continues to be patient with her.
Well, Karen better than me because you're not finna sit in my face and start talking to me like you lost your everlasting mind. Because I would have told her the same energy you giving me, give that shit to Dorothy. Because you talking to the wrong motherfucking person. You talk to Dorothy like that, not me.
For real.
The way that she
Well,
talked to Karen, I was not here for it. And Karen better than me because I'd have smacked fire out of Candace's ass. You thinking that Monique did something to you? Just imagine what I would have done to you. I know
Oh
you ain't
my
finna talk to me
God.
like that.
Karen looks at Candace as a child, which is why I feel like after the thing was over, she walked up to her almost like, "Oh, come here, baby. Like I know you've been acting out, but go ahead and give me a hug."
Mm.
And I feel like that's why she will never be on level playing field and actually argue with Candace because she looks at her like a child. Now, like I said, Candace is childish. So although Karen is giving Candace some sort of support, it's almost invisible because she can't see it because it's not displayed the way that she wants it to be. Like I said, Karen is working overtime to hold up Monique, and that's not what Candace wants. Candace wants her to all out just cut Monique off. And since that's not working out, Karen is just like, okay, well, you just gonna have a hissy fit, and we're gonna be good at the end of this.
Can I say one thing? Congratulations, Nisi.
Mhm.
Somebody said
Yes, I was just about to type that.
Yay! Thank y'all.
Hey.
Woo, I was looking at that all day. I was like,
And I
let me just
also
stop.
want,
Let me relax.
yeah. So first of all, I think we got two congrats in order too, because we congratulated Nisi on hitting 1K subscribers. So we're happy about our girl hitting 1K, and
Yes.
also to Josiah.
What?
Josiah's video on what's his name? Daryl Walsh hit over 100,000 views. So he
Yeah.
deserves a big shout
Oh,
out for that one. So
oh, thank you.
Yes.
Y'all better work.
When I first got the tea, I was like, "Oh my god, I hate to be messy, but I gotta drop. I gotta talk about this because I know
Look,
this is
you were
gonna
the
go."
first person I heard talk about it. The first.
Because I know some of y'all follow me on Instagram. I was like, "Oh my god, okay, this is gonna come out, but I'm just gonna talk about it."
yes, indeed. So shout out to Josiah and Nisa. It ain't nothing but greatness up in this.
Thank
Okay,
Hey,
y'all.
that's
thank
all it
you.
is. Ain't nothing but greatness in this.
Hey,
Yes,
listen, I
indeed.
learned
That's
from the
why you see the
best.
folks up in
Right. Ain't that
I learned
factual?
from the best. So
here. Look now. We gonna get the best to Bondi because she's the one with all the people. She's the one with over 80,000 subscribers in this bitch, so she's the best. So we gonna say
Bonnie, I've been watching you since 2015.
Of that.
Thank you, love.
Yeah.
that.
Bonnie used to do them videos on the floor, didn't it? Years ago.
Child everywhere.
You
OG.
Everywhere
sure
you can think
did.
of. In cars, on the floor, standing up in the bathroom. Child, I was looking
Yes.
at old videos. I was like, girl, you come a long way.
Yes.
But yeah,
I
y'all know it's
remember.
all love. Thank you.
And in your
I
opening,
remember.
I
That's
think in
what's
your
up.
opening song you used to dance too. I don't know what you were doing, but you used to dance to some
Right around
song at the
R&B Divas.
beginning. I used to love that shit.
Right around R&B Divas time, yes. Because I was in really good shape. So I used to be in that bitch
Yes,
cha-cha my ass
yes.
off. Now my ass be, I'm in better shape now. I be out of breath, bitch, standing up trying to do a video these days.
It's been a fun time. I've been following her for a
See
long
how we
time.
get to talking? We be talking about the housewives, and we wind up praising one another. That's
See,
good.
this
That's what I'm
this
talking
is
about.
good.
Like
This is
we
good
get to
energy
praise one another while we talking.
It is good energy,
because the
whether
way
we
how
agree or not on
right.
everything. It's
But
That's
good.
key.
listen,
That's
let me say
key.
this: we do need this in the Black YouTube sector because I see so many, Black YouTubers that's even bigger than all of us. Go at each other's throats, and I'm just not here for it. I'm not gonna say any names,
Why not?
but I'm just
Because I don't know who we talking about. That's why.
That's
well,
the
Motherfucker,
after
well,
act like
show.
we know who we talking about.
yeah, I'll say in the after show, but yeah, Scotty know who I'm talking about.
Y'all
I think
see,
I know
first
too.
of all, time
I
out
ain't saying
talking about people coming at somebody the way Rolling Ray was trying to come at T. And now they talking about that walk song is about him. I'm sorry, I'm going to hell. It's
Oh my
hilarious.
goodness.
Oh, really?
Because the song is a bop. I was like, bitch, so Santana got a hit. Let me see you walk, walk, walk. So now they're talking, let me see if you can walk. Oh, Lord. I'm sorry, I thought that was funny.
That's okay.
Rolling Ray tried to come at T, and I was just kind of like,
oh my god.
sir, do something with yourself. Always trying to come at somebody.
Purr.
Okay. Humbuggish ass. Listen. Y'all seen this mess online?
Look at Jamie.
Am I fucked up? Am I wrong?
Let's move the fuck on. Let's about okay.
It was
Let's
the purr for me.
Y'all seen this shit though? With, Brandy and Max Lux must have got into some altercation and it was online and it went viral.
Oh,
Just
child.
in y'all phones later.
I did not see that.
Okay, I
I
need me
ain't
some
seen
hot
that.
tea content. Up.
Y'all know
Okay.
Brandy
I
is
didn't see
crazy.
that.
I did not see
Right, not Brandy, the peaceful angel.
Not her. I think it's
That
Max.
little chihuahua.
that. Her, the
Oh
one
no,
that's on Love and
Not
Hip
the
Hop.
singer. I think it's their
oh
cousin.
Yeah, you remember the one from the show?
yes,
one
I
who
remember the
jumped
one
on
from the
her?
show who took the money
Yeah.
from her son.
Yes.
And,
And her
yes,
husband needed his teeth fixed the whole time.
yes.
Them teeth was something
Shane
terrible.
Renee.
I am so glad I
Shane
got my ass
Renee.
fixed. I am so
Girl
glad I
bye.
got my
Do we think we're a little biased towards Monique
fixed.
because she's really pretty?
No,
Giselle is
Girl bye.
gorgeous, and we're not
no,
biased
No.
towards her. So what? Like, I
no.
don't think so.
They should
Girl
be
bye.
pretty.
No shade for girl bye.
Like
Nah,
everybody's
I'm not
pretty.
by it. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
like
everybody on that show is pretty. No,
Because every time I read her, I be like, oh, pretty ass. Okay. You can't say that about her beauty. She's gorgeous.
In the looks,
But it ain't because of that. If she wrong, she wrong.
right.
let me just say this when we go, before we go on to the next topic. Let me just say this because oh my god,
What happened?
why do y'all keep trying to find any reason to like to just to say something? Like I feel like there was just a reason, just to reach out together. Y'all find a reach as to why we like a person. We find a reach as to why we don't like a person. It's just her being pretty ain't got nothing to do with it, like at all.
like we couldn't
Nothing.
possibly just have this opinion based off of how we feel.
Yeah, everything got to be. Not saying that this person said that,
About
but the
looks.
overall tone of whenever we hear other comments, everything got to be like problematic. And I think social media plants those ideas in people's heads, and they try to apply it to certain situations. And sometimes it's just not. It's just not the case with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because honey,
and
we loves the
it's
dark
no bias
skin,
over
Mimi.
here because everybody can
And you
get
ain't
it.
gotta be the cutest girl. If you wrong, you wrong. If you right, you right.
Yeah.
And well, I feel like
Yeah.
everybody's fair.
Yeah.
Everybody's fair. And I don't understand why that's so
Mhm.
hard. Like y'all can't deal with fair. Y'all need it to be like this extreme.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna get that from a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? Even if we do feel one way or another, we can still see each other's side in it because we have like, common sense and shit. Like
Common sense. Yeah.
I mean, and
Right.
most importantly, I think we just have respect for each other's opinions. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
at the end of the
And
day.
also, It's not that deep.
New.
Right.
That's the number.
Right.
That's the
I
number
mean, but
one.
Yeah, it's not that deep.
we even said last week that we liked all the chocolate skinned girls. Like I remember saying that I love both Candace and Monique. My favorite Candace moments with her gathering both Giselle and Cherise. Talk about I came from Jesus. Like I mean, we love them
Yes.
both. You know. I mean, that's just like basketball wise, like Kristen. As much as she annoys me, she is drop dead
Yes.
gorgeous. It's
Can't
just
stand.
her attitude was fake as hell. You know.
Whack.
For sure,
Yeah, I can't
1,000.
stand her either.
Right.
Ooh, and she from my city, so she
I can't
clean.
stand Billy D. Williams. I can't.
Billy,
I did not know
got it.
that.
I don't fuck with Billy
Mm,
D.
she from New
Williams.
Orleans.
I don't. Mm-mm. I'm sorry. I don't fuck with Billy D. Williams at all. I don't. Mm-mm. Can't. No.
Mm.
That's what Color Me Pink called her, though.
Billy D.
That's what Color Me
Williams.
Pink called her, Billy D. Williams.
Oh my God,
But
man.
anyway, let's get to the shit that got the party started, and that's when Michael came to Chris and said to him, "You need to control your wife." Do
That's
you
where he
think?
fucked up.
Okay, so with that being said, do you think Michael was wrong the way he approached Chris? Do you think he should approach Chris at all, or do you think he should have just stayed the fuck out of it? Now, for me, I feel like if you know a nigga don't fuck with you, first of all, you don't walk up on him like that. Number one, you don't walk up on him like that. Number two, if he already don't fool with you like that, and you want to tell me to control my wife, control yours. You don't tell me what to do with mine. Let the women have their argument. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And then when he told him to get the fuck out of his face, he should have just got the fuck out of his face. But instead, he said, "Shut the fuck up," and grabbed him by the arm, and then it went from there. In a sense, you would think that Michael really wasn't aggressive when he told him to control his wife, but I guess it's because of the history that they have. They already don't fuck with each other like that. And then on top of that, you telling me to control my wife. I'm just trying to look at it from two different standpoints, two different angles, but I'm gonna let y'all speak on that. Go ahead.
We'll let the ladies go first because I have an opinion.
Michael should have never came up to Chris at all on some stuff that had to do with the women. That's where he first messed up. And then his tone, my jaw at the beginning of the episode, him and Ashley had already discussed that they didn't see it fit for Candace and Chris. So he was ready to come up to Chris and be like, "Here go your wife on some bullshit again." That's pretty much what he said without saying it. And then again, he pulled battered white woman talking about did you see it? He hit me. He pushed me. Did you see it? And Bravo did an amazing job slowing that shit down because somebody came in my comments saying, well, he did push him. He didn't push him. He escorted him out his face. You don't step to somebody and not expect that he did it politely, in my opinion. You came all up behind his ear hollering. And then whenever he said, "Get out my face," you gonna tell the man to shut the fuck up. Well, excuse me? So yeah, he's lucky that Chris did not lay hands on him because you're not gonna step to him talking about his wife. Michael is ridiculous, and he even took it a step further with the battered white woman. He pulled a rich white man talking about who's touching me? Why are you touching me? Why are you touching me? He's calling him a redneck, a lowlife. And yeah, Michael turns into a hot ass mess when he's drunk. Now I see why Ashley didn't want him drinking the tequila, even though the tequila didn't make your man go up in that hotel room. But you didn't want him to drink because you didn't want him to embarrass you again. And Michael's a hot ass mess. He was all wrong. Ashley was wrong. Just the last thing I'm going to say. Ashley was wrong too, because I know people are going to say that Candace basically did the same thing again that she did with Monique. But I don't think Ashley and Monique and Candace would have got into it until Ashley opened up her mouth and said, "But you want to talk about Monique." And it wasn't even a situation between Ashley and Candace. Ashley was just ready to turn up because she blindly defends her trifling ass man.
I feel like Niecy pretty much hit everything. I definitely want to highlight the fact that for me, I do feel like Michael was wrong. I think that if we all in this setting, we know these people are filming, and you see Ray standing right next to Chris, and his wife is sitting right over there. and pretty much being a person that's being yelled at by Candace, Ray could have told Chris himself. He didn't need you to come from where you were to inform him of anything when you've been throwing shade this entire time. Even when one of them asked, like when he tried to introduce you to Eddie, and you was like, oh, I don't, how would I know him? Oh, you didn't come to Candace and Chris's thing. Oh, why would I go to that? So you already don't like this man. You've made it very clear. Chris's actions showed from the moment he walked in there that he does not rock with you. I didn't see him speak to you. He stayed clear of you and everything. So when Chris turned around and responded to you, that energy gave me that it was understood that I don't rock with you. Don't come over here. So at that moment, I think Chris knew Michael was trying to be messy. So he said, bro, you need to get out my face. In addition to knowing the fact that Michael was already lit, he was already drunk. So I don't think he pushed him at all. He turned around, he jumped up. So of course Michael's gonna jump back. So it would look like he pushed him. He backed him up out for him the best way he could. Ashley, I love that you mentioned that, Nisi. Ashley, once again, never has the full scope of the situation of what's going on and loves to just hop out there. But that is her husband, right? So we expect her to, if he says one thing, go and support him. But you also had footage of him cheating in a room, but he told you one thing and you went with that. But okay, that's what you do. In addition, I thought she wasn't talking to Candace when she said you want to talk about Monique because of the direction of her face. She looked like she was talking directly to Chris. So Candace said something to Michael. First, she asked Ashley, who are you talking to? Then she started to address Michael. Everybody's like, see, she's asking for this and that, and she's saying whatever. And then you want to say that to a man, you MFing right. If this my husband and another woman feels as though she can address him, I'm going to address yours. And that's just how we going to move. So all in all, Michael was wrong. He was off the hinges, and we saw that as the episode continued to play out.
Okay. So I agree with everything y'all said. Okay. I just want to say that I think this is another situation where everybody played their part in the foolishness. Okay. Because even though Candace wasn't wrong for defending her man, okay, but I do feel like you gonna learn to stop begging people to touch you and then getting mad when they do. Okay, that's just one thing. Like, how about we get that out of our vocabulary since something like that has already transpired? Okay, but she was not wrong, and neither was Chris. When Michael came to the party on one, he started off with Giselle, and once he got that liquid courage in him, he decided to take that shit over to Chris and actually say something to his face. So which Chris turns around because Chris can hear Candace. Chris is already stressed out because of Candace, okay? So he's trying to get a drink, and here you come in his ear with the, get your wife shit, and it's almost like, that white man shit. You know what I'm saying? Get your ignorant black wife, basically. And I think that he heard the tone, and that's why he was like, get your dumb ass out my face. And even if he did push him, I feel like Michael was all in his personal space. Michael was all, and I felt like Michael touched him. Like Michael must have touched his arm or something like that, because that's when he turned around and was like, hey, you know what I'm saying, and backed his ass up off of him. And he's doing, like you said, Niecy, doing the white woman thing. Oh, look at you touching me. And Funky Done even made a great point that it must be in white folks' DNA to antagonize people and fuck with them and then play victim and act like somebody hurt you, okay? Because that shit worked on my ever-loving nerves, okay? And then at the end of it, we see that Ashley, now you can't even get his drunk ass under control. And he made this comment, they're touching me and it's disgusting. And I was like, what the you mean is disgusting? Why is it disgusting, mother? Okay, I got upset about that because it all feels, you know what I'm saying? It all feels racial at one point or another. Like, it's all good when your little mixed wife is popping it back and having white babies with you. But when it comes down to it, I feel like a lot of white people, specifically like Michael, they really jump back into their racism when they get drunk and upset.
Oh,
okay. So for me, I noticed a lot of shit going on during that moment. However, can we also talk about Robin's terrible dance moves while all this was going on? You're trying to have a good time.
Child, hey, I can't talk about nobody dance moves because I'm not the best dancer myself. So
Child hit a bankhead bounce, but she was dropping it and doing all kind of
Neither
stuff.
am I.
And I was just like, Robin, we get it, honey. You trying to act like you are oblivious to what's going on. But she was pissed on the slick when they, when it all popped off. She was like, I'm not even giving that any, attention and all of this type of shit. I'm like, child, it was more entertaining than wine proposing to your ass. But you know what? We gonna let you go ahead and have it. Now, let me address Monique. because she was on social media and she made a comment towards Chris, just basically saying how the situations were very similar where you get in somebody's face and y'all touched each other or whatever, and you not remorseful after. You still like, I'll kick his ass and all of this. So why is it, she making comments basically trying to make it seem like these situations were the same? To a degree, Monique, they were, but at the end of the day, a fight actually happened with you and Candace. So it's a little different, honey. I just want to mention that because everybody always think I'm so on her side, just blindly, but it's like, no, I did feel like, yeah, it ain't that much of the same situation, girl. But I do feel like there are different rules for men. It was totally okay for that altercation to take place without everybody turning it into, does he deserved to be in the world now because this happened the way they did to Monique. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like when the women get into it, they're making us look bad and all of this. But these two white boys get into it at the party, and we just gonna act like it never happened. Ashley and him went on vacation the next day, and everything's fine. So racial.
I feel the same damn way that all of the ladies do. Honestly, I ain't got nothing to say, child. I'm sick and tired of talking about this dry ass fight. I'm done with the whole damn thing. I personally, I honestly felt like either Ray or Juan or Eddie should have been the one to have gone over there and said something. More so Ray than anybody because it was his wife that was getting into it with her. I felt like Ray should have been the one like, listen, I'm gonna get my wife, you go get yours. They're about to turn this into something that it ain't got to be in. I was on Chris's side when it came to that. Like, I just felt like at the end of the day, you going over there, you was drunk and you was belligerent, didn't make it no better. And I have to agree. I didn't like the way Ashley piled on. I didn't like the way Ashley piled on. I felt like it was too much. And at the same token, Candace, remember, you on sticky notes, you on PTSD medication, you on therapy, you got Jesus on the main line telling them what you want because you so scared of being in a fight. You never been in a fight before. You won't cut from that fighting cloth. You don't rear up at nobody. You don't try to act like you about that life. So I'm gonna need for you to keep that up. You coming up at Ashley, it don't help your case. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, I definitely would have to agree with the ladies. I mean, Michael just showed his ass out. Do you hear me? He showed his ass out and act like he ain't got no
For the
sense.
second time.
Right. Yeah, exactly. This is the second time he just went out and just showed his butt off. So I can't feel sorry for him at all. Ashley's statement was not necessary at that moment, especially in the heat. And that's one thing that irks me about Ashley because even in the midst of the drama and the heat, she can say something that's just super aggravating. So that was definitely not necessary. But Michael needs to get himself together. And I didn't like the lady said, I did not appreciate that redneck comment. I did not appreciate that because that showed like Bondi said, that Karen side kind of came out. And then playing victim, telling some, oh, I'm a sue. But when you just all up in this man's face, grab it. If somebody gonna grab my shoulder, I'm gonna push you the hell away from me. You know what I'm saying? So unnecessarily. And even with him getting into later in the episode, him getting into with the security and everybody else, Ashley Thomas said, you're embarrassing me. Like, dude, get it
Why she
together.
didn't take his ass home is the question. She goes back out there to stand and look at Robin dancing all goofy and shit like a crazy person. I was like, bitch, go home.
He wouldn't go. Remember, she tried to grab him and he was like, get off of me.
I'd have left his ass there.
Oh yeah, he did do that.
Ditto.
You can act a
Would have
fool
been
by your
gone.
fucking self. I'm going home.
Right, you gonna embarrass yourself. I'm leaving.
But Ashley played herself though. I just also want to say that in case because I forgot to say that. But she played herself when she got all rowdy with Cam. You want to talk about money? Listen, bitch. Listen, your husband is the problem. Shh.
Yes.
Right.
Didn't have nothing to do with Monique. Monique wasn't even there. But that's exactly what Monique needed because Monique is using outside sources to justify what went down before her between her and Candace.
Yep. And that's why the next scene is so the case got thrown out.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so let me ask y'all. Do y'all think Do y'all think that Monique's lawyer lied about something like Candy said? Because I was kind of lost on that.
I mean, I hope he didn't. I don't know.
No.
Okay.
Okay,
I
so
didn't either. I
I
just
guess
wanted
I'll
to check
go.
it.
So first off, I'm gonna say yeah, Michael was wrong, Ashley was wrong, but I guess I'll bring us. I guess I'll bring it up from my standpoint, right? So with Michael going over there, part of that was him trying to son Chris. You know, he went over there almost like as an elder, trying to talk to him because he was saying, you know, first and foremost, that whole control your wife thing. For him to say that, that lets you know where his mind frame is and how he view women. That he views women as property. First thing, but he was saying, you know, control your wife, this doesn't look good for us. And I was like, okay, all right. So that was one of those skinfolk, kinfolk kind of thing where it's just like, okay, your black wife is embarrassing us, you know, white men. You might want to get over there and talk to her. So I don't think there was any malice on Michael's part. I think it was just like, all right, look, they doing the most. But yeah, Chris was justified in his reaction, like, dude, get the fuck out my face. Who is you talking to? And Michael doubling down, I think, like I said, I am not defending Michael, but I think he was trying to come at him like, look, I'm an elder, you know, I'm your elder, like, listen to me, type of thing. And then, well, yeah, you got backed up off of him. And I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping that Chris would have put them paws on his ass. Like, I was sitting back waiting, like, please do it, please do it. Ah, he didn't do it. Let me see what else. And then with the whole Ashley thing, I really do believe Ashley was addressing Chris. I think she was wrong in that, especially seeing as how a lot of women on these housewife shows says that men should never address the women. So that should be a two-way street. But I think what she was trying to do is do that whole comparison of, okay, because I think that she knows that Chris was talking mess too. So okay, so if Monique is so, you know, unruly, okay, so what you're doing right now, does these two things not line up in some way, shape, form, or fashion? And I mean, I can't get mad for Ashley, you know, bucking for her husband. I can't. I really can't. Yet at the same time, I'm not going to be mad at Candace for bucking for her husband. I can't be mad at that. Now that whole trying to invite an ass whooping, I was kind of like, okay, Candace, like you really might want to sit the fuck down. You doing just a tad bit, just a tad bit too much. But yeah, Michael was straight the fuck up wrong. And then even with the whole redneck comment thing, because I said this in my review, like, well, a lot of people don't realize this whole white black thing did not exist until slavery. That wasn't a thing with the Europeans. Is you're Irish, you're this, you're Dutch, you're that. And what happened is you can call them indentured slave, whatever, but the European slaves that were with the African American slaves were about to bond together and revolt against the upper class European Americans. And that's when they did.
Speak on it.
And that's when they did the whole, okay, we're white. And every time those numbers begin to dwindle, they bring in another group that they consider to be white. So when he went off, he went from that mindset of, okay, yeah, you're lower and all this other stuff. So that was a classist statement, and it was a very much racially charged statement, calling him a redneck, this, that, and the third. So I just want to shed just a little bit of light for some people that really don't understand.
Like I
Listen,
said.
I'm not mad at Candace for being up under. I'm not mad at Candace for taking up for her husband. I mean, as a wife, that's what you're supposed to do. But remember, your argument is you can't fight, you don't fight, you won't fight. Fighting ain't what you do. That's beneath you, that's below you, and anybody that fight or act like they are hood rats. That came out of your mouth. That's all I'm saying.
So your husband is a hood rat, bitch. A little bit.
Yeah, because that's the yeah, I don't blame Candace for defending her husband either. The only thing that I had a tweak with is the whole you wanna touch me, Michael? I dare your motherfucking don't stop daring
Yes.
people to drag you now. Just stop daring people because if you keep You dared somebody the last
And
time, and you got your ass dragged across the table, and we still
my
here.
thing with Candace.
So
I mean, Candace, you don't. You have
don't
to
do
call
that.
her
That's the
out.
only thing I have to
Yes, you
say.
have to call her out on that because you can't do that. If you in a heated argument, don't do that. Now, so you have to restrain yourself, but calm the hell down because you're doing too much. You trying to cash a check. You're trying to do a check that you can't cash. Period.
She escalates. She always escalates situations and
Escalating.
act
Yes,
like,
thank
Like, don't
you.
be
she didn't
inviting
have.
nobody new.
Yeah, I didn't do anything, even though I just escalated this situation. Like, come on, Candace. That's why she never learns. And because this season the girls decided not to hold her accountable, you know what I'm saying? So now she doesn't really have to stop running her mouth to, basically write checks her ass can't cash.
Right quick. So somebody had asked about the whole indenture slaves and the whole uprising. First off, the reason that I did the indenture slaves because you have some people that don't say they were indentured slaves, that they were slaves just like the Africans. But the different, like the whole usurping thing is, you have to understand African slavery is different than European
Chattel
slavery.
slavery. Chattel
Exactly.
slavery.
Like African slavery was, you're going to work off your debt, but you're still considered a human being. Whereas
Right.
with the European slavery, you are property and I can do whatever I want to do to you. And when you have someone that resembles you in skin tone, treating you like this other group that they, for the most part, sold, yeah, they were getting upset. Like, okay, we're kind of the same. Why are you treating us like this? So yes, they were going to join forces with the African slaves. And when the higher class Europeans saw this was about to happen, that's when they kind of deaded that whole thing.
Also, the Irish slaves or indentured servants weren't strong enough for the work that was happening in the Americas because they were sent to Jamaica and to America first and they were dying off. So they go to Africa where everybody's all strong and have their good resistance to the sun and everything. And we were the stronger of the two. So it wasn't even just that they were going to revolt, it was that they really weren't sustaining as slaves in this environment in this country anyway. Okay, so let's not forget about that money aspect. It's always about the money.
I love
So
this. Keep going.
y'all,
Let me explain right
wait,
quick.
y'all want to keep going because I don't want to. I
Let
don't
me
want to
address
ruin the
something
history
right
for the
quick.
history
Let me address
moment.
something
Because I'm
right.
loving this history
I'm
moment.
about to be
Preaching
talking about
all the
something
tea. That's your
basic.
new
Oh
name.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Because I was about to say
Go
something.
ahead, Scotty.
So I was thinking,
Go
okay,
ahead.
so whenever we talk about the other ladies, we say if somebody comes for you, like you can't tell them how hard they can come back, right? So if we can see it that way, do y'all think that the limit does not exist for what can come out of Candace's mouth? Like, should there really be a limit to what Candace says if other people don't really have a limit? Now, I agree. Candace, you had just got out of that situation saying drag me and then got dragged. I agree. But if we look at it and say, okay, well, you can't police how hard somebody can come back at you, can Candace really say whatever she wants? I feel like Candace should be able to say whatever she wants, honestly.
Listen, when Candace first came on the show and everybody was so upset about the way she went at them, I was happy. I liked the way she went at people. She went at their necks hard. But for me, it's not even about just what you say. It's about you bigging up physically. So when you get in somebody's face and you like, bitch,
Mhm.
whatever, whatever, that means that you matching energy. So when
Okay.
things get
Mhm.
physical, don't get surprised. To me, she can say whatever the fuck she wants to say from a safe distance
Mhm.
and we good. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of people get that confused because they think it's just about what
Mhm.
she said. It's not just about what she said. It's about getting in somebody's face with your hands and touching them and saying it as well. Because even though that is exactly what Monique did, Candace did it as well before the dragging. They both got in each other's face and touched each other before the dragging happened. So for me, I feel like everybody should have a limit to what they'll say because I feel like at the end of the day, you should always put yourself in somebody else's shoes. And I can be mad and we can
Mhm.
argue, but don't wish death on people. Like
Yeah.
there should be a limit at some point just for your own well-being, as far as I'm concerned. And
Mhm.
Mhm.
Candace doesn't seem to have that self-awareness that what you put out there will eventually circle back around to somebody how to react once y'all get into it. Definitely have had uh as a grown woman, she should definitely have had more of a filter than she has at this age.
Yeah, you just saying have your words match your expectations. Basically, don't be surprised.
Right.
That's all.
Right.
I can see
That's
that.
all.
Um, Let me also say this I because we're talking about this, and of course I'm looking at the comments, and of course when we discuss this and we talk whatever, always want to say, are we like? Cause I seen two comments that pissed me the fuck off. Someone said, "Are y'all trained animals? If somebody tell you to do, if someone tells you to do something, are you gonna do it?" Or it was another comment in here that said, "Okay, so if somebody told you to jump off a bridge, are you gonna do it?" At the end of the fucking day, nobody is saying that because someone asks to be fucking dragged, that does not mean that we're saying that you're supposed to do it. That is not what we're saying. What we're saying is if you sit up and you say, drag me, or if you sit up and say, I dare you, there is someone that's stupid enough to do it. That's all I'm saying. Point blank, period. There is someone out there that's stupid enough to do it at the end of the day. That's
And I'm gonna say
it.
this:
So
if you
my
say
thing
some
about it
shit like
is
that to me in
you
my
can't
motherfucking face,
underestimate the person.
hold up, Scotty, because that animal comment kind of hit me. People like y'all be talking all of that shit online. Say that shit to somebody's face, and I bet you
Hmm.
any money that y'all wouldn't do that shit. And if y'all did, be prepared to get your ass whooped. And I know what you'll say,
Yeah.
get prepared to get sued. Well, bitch, in Candace's situation, you should always sue somebody that has less money than you. Because what you fuck up and do is sue somebody that got all the money in the world to go back and forth and back and forth to court with your ass, and you still end up losing. So you get your ass swept, and then you lose a court case. Okay? So learn from her mistakes and stop running
Right.
y'all mouth on the internet like y'all don't have no sense. Y'all know what we saying, okay? Why
Yeah.
is it okay for you to talk to us crazy, talking about are we trained animals? Bitch, do you know me?
Right.
Don't get fucked up in these comments, cause I'll rib the piss out of all y'all and I can't even see you, bitch.
Right.
Raggedy ass booty, bitch.
Facts.
I mean,
We animals. What?
it's just irritating.
You
I
can
mean, it's
eat
just
out my ass and
irritating
get
to me
smooth, bitch.
because
How about that?
when we say, when it's just irritating because when we talk about this, people always want to take it as if you're condoning it. If I was condoning it, I would have said she deserved to get her ass beat. If I condoned it, all I'm doing is saying at the end of the day, things like this do happen. That's all I can say. Stuff like this happen. And I'm speaking for me. I'm not speaking for no one else. I'm speaking for me. When I'm in a verbal altercation, I know I don't want to fight nobody. I'm not gonna ask nobody. I'm not gonna say drag me or hit me or none of that bullshit because I'm not gonna underestimate the person that's standing in front of me. Because as soon as I say that, shit, I might just get my ass knocked the fuck out. That's all I'm saying. That doesn't make it right. That doesn't mean I'm condoning any fucking thing. It is what it is. In 2000, it's not we're allowing these comments to bother us. It's just annoying at this point. Like
Y'all ain't really
we
annoying me, but
keep
I like
dealing with
cursing y'all
this
out.
all
No,
day.
So
I
say
mean,
some more shit
it's
so
dealing
I
with
can
this the
curse y'all out
aggravating.
entire
some more.
season, it gets annoying.
It's aggravating because people really acting like they've never seen a fight happen on TV before. That's the main thing that's bugging the hell out of me. I'm
Girl,
like,
it's not
y'all
hip
are
hop.
dragging this shit out and y'all are adding all of this shit to it. Like, it just get like, y'all, it happens. Yeah, when you in your 30s, you probably shouldn't be out there busting bitches upside the head. But if it just should happen, oh well. It happened. You get over it. Like,
I'm glad
everybody's
nobody
trying
got
to act,
killed or
oh my
stabbed.
God.
I live
Yeah,
to live.
like,
We don't
oh
need to
my God,
fight
I
no more.
can't
Niggas is
believe it.
dead. Okay? And y'all big mad about a fight. Get over it.
Let's be
Yeah, it
respectful in the
happened. It's done.
comments. Let's
If
be
y'all don't want to be
nice.
respectful in these comments,
Just act
go
like you
on
got
running
some
your mouth.
sense. That's all.
Right. Act like you got
Post it
some
on here
sense.
so I can read it and then curse them out personally with their username since they want to get all gunny in the comments.
Right.
See, because y'all want attention.
Oh
So
my God.
that's what
I
those comments
mean,
are. Y'all want attention from us. Y'all like when we curse y'all out, and y'all know I'm the one for it. Okay?
They got the right one, huh, Bonnie?
They
I mean,
absolutely do.
when we say stuff like this, They acting like we go out in the street and fight every fucking day. I haven't been in no physical altercation in damn near fucking decade, and I
Me
would
too.
not be in a physical altercation. So
No,
what are you
Oh my
saying?
God, me too.
I haven't fought
I
a
ain't
soul
fighting
in
no fucking body. I
2 years.
get shot in your kneecaps and the police will be called. Like, I live in a stand your ground state, ho. Like, it ain't that. I tell people all the time, I'm grown. I'm not about to be rolling around on the ground with none of you raggedy bitches. At the end of the day, if you feel that strongly about it, get
Right.
shot about it. That's my rule.
Period.
So understand, we ain't cut from the same cloth. When y'all be out here talking all of that shit, at the end of the day, just because we can recognize the situation for what it is, it does not make it okay. It does not mean that that's how we would live our lives. So don't ask us no questions about jumping off of cliffs and shit, because as you can see, everybody on here is doing something that is out of the box. Being a YouTuber is not some shit that everybody is out here doing successfully. So don't play us like no soybean burger bitch. If you don't like what we have to say, go dick ride on somebody that does. But don't come in these comments calling nobody no motherfucking animal and all of that shit.
Yeah, that's not
Because I'll tell you your motherfucking mama.
And to co-sign the check that Bonnie just cashed on right quick, social media got a lot of y'all asses fucked up,
Yeah.
like for real. Because before, because like I'm pretty sure we're all millennials, so we existed right before, the internet and everything. There was a time, motherfucker, like the shit that people type on the internet, you would never say that shit to somebody's face because you already know there is a 90% chance you about to get your motherfucking head rocked. Point blank and the fucking period. So, I mean, everybody is so entitled. You got people behind fake ass avatars and shit. And you know what? And to be real with some of the people in the comments, if we upset you that much, if you don't like our opinions that much, guess what? It's a couple things your ass can do. You can click off this video, get the fuck off the internet, or better yet, do a YouTube channel and say what the fuck you gotta say and see who the fuck comes over there like y'all doing absolutely too motherfucking much. For real, for real. And if y'all really gonna act like if we ain't got history, like motherfuckers want to sit here fighting over shit, slap niggas with gloves and shit, talking about, so I challenge you to a duel because you disrespected my motherfucking family, like, man, stop with the bullshit.
For real. All facts.
We good now?
I listen. That deserved a moment of silence at that point because the way that y'all listen, it was much needed. So kudos for that moment of silence.
Y'all know it just gets irritating, like how I had to make a public service announcement on my live this morning. I get so tired of people telling me what I can and can't say out of my damn mouth on my channel. I don't know what in the entire holy world to do. Don't talk about them. Don't say this. Don't say that. Bitch, fuck you. I don't know them and y'all don't know me. This is my channel. Like it crawls under my skin, and I've never had this issue with no other franchise but this one. Like it's stuff like
Y'all need to start saving the comments and making a video going on. Cause that's what they want.
That is what they want.
They want to look. They want to watch that video before they go to sleep. Like, just go ahead, screenshot the comments, make one video addressing it, and I swear to you, they will send that video to everybody they know because they probably think they made it.
Y'all are pathetic.
I mean, and also like y'all also gotta remember, like, imagine this being Scotty House and y'all motherfucking business, like you don't, and or even Terrence is like, you don't roll up to somebody's house on somebody's platform with that motherfucking rah-rah. Like seriously, like it's not even needed. And you have moderators from the beginning saying keep it cute. Don't come for the panel, like on some real shit. If y'all really don't like us, y'all really don't, granted this Scotty channel, so I shouldn't be saying it, but y'all really ain't gotta fucking be here.
Shout out to all the people in my Discord that's watching this right now, telling me to continue to go off on people. Shout out to my Discord. Listen, I'm gonna just tell y'all, as somebody that done had people drag me for their God, say all kind of terrible shit to me. Y'all gotta stay out these comments sometimes. I don't know what the fuck going on in the chat. If Scotty didn't tell us, I wouldn't know. I'm glad he commentating. I might not ever do a panel if I gotta read comments, cause I just be cursing everybody out the whole time.
right.
Yeah, normally I don't be in the comments, but
See, another thing I want to say is this too, because people come under, and I think we all have experienced people coming under our videos and things of that nature, always talking shit and being disrespectful. But it's like the moment we respond to the disrespect that they're giving, we are horrible people. We have a bad attitude. We this, we that, all this other shit. It's like you can't away, you can't come on my shit and then be disrespectful and think I'm not gonna be disrespectful and kind. It's only so many times I'm gonna show ass get away with it, and it's only gonna be so many times I'm gonna delete your comment and not say shit. Like, you don't have the right to come on my shit and just come at me like that just because you don't agree with me.
So
That's
fuck you respectfully.
childish.
Basically,
Basically.
basically.
But listen, I mean, if they ain't hating, if they ain't talking ish, then we
Okay,
doing
we
something right.
popping.
We doing something right. So
We popping.
come on with the hate comments. Y'all can bring them, but y'all watching. Y'all definitely watching.
They
Okay, y'all
hate
get
us
to
because
hate.
they ain't us.
It's okay. Y'all can hate us. I just want y'all to know we don't
um,
lose no sleep about it.
Yeah, just make sure you like and subscribe.
right.
Okay. Come
Right,
on.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I'm not responding to that stupid ass comment. Like I'm not. We're done. However, what are y'all predictions for the reunion? Because I'm at this point, I'm just gonna stop looking. I'm gonna look at the comments, but I'm just not gonna address them anymore. I'm gonna let my mods deal with it. Because I just made somebody. As a matter of fact, I just made Earl a mod, so you're a brand new mod. Like I'm listen. I'm gonna let my mods handle this shit for the next time because I'm not gonna keep on responding to stupid shit. Go ahead, y'all. But what are y'all predictions for the reunion, or what do y'all want to see at the reunion?
I think it's gonna be explosive. We're probably gonna get like some dull moments, because I don't know how many episodes we're gonna get, but they're gonna drag it out. But either way, I think whenever we get into Giselle's ass, it's probably gonna be a favorite. Also, whenever Chris raises up and Andy has to be like, Chris, sit down because security can't hold you back. You're too big. So I'm like excited about those moments. But all in all, I think it's gonna be really entertaining, and I'm kind of excited for it. I just hope that they don't disappoint, because you know how when they put a lot of stock into it, and then we get there and we be like, "Bitch, this could have been a whole one part." So
Yeah.
I just hope
Yeah.
they don't disappoint.
I want to know what Monique is going to bring in her receipt book, because
Mhm.
that's obviously whatever the little piece that Karen is talking about, the release the glass. I feel like that's only a portion of Monique's receipt book. So I really want to know what it is. And then another thing I noticed is throughout this season, in regards to Monique and her receipts, she tweeted basically saying that Candace was trying to sue her for money, that basically this was all for money. So maybe she'll come to the reunion talking about that. Now, let me say this again. Does it change the fact that Monique was wrong? No, it does not. But I definitely want to see what receipts Monique has in addition to Giselle getting red up and down. But we probably won't see that till part 3. Yeah, I think it's 3 parts. So part 3.
I just want to be surprised. I don't know what to expect. I just surprise me.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a very interesting reunion. I think that between the ladies, it's a whole bunch of BS that went down, of course. So we definitely got to tune into that. In the trailer, there was a comment that Robin and Giselle, well, Robin made, or Giselle, one of them, they both are the same, made against Karen, which is age shaming. And I did not like that. So I need Karen to get them together and read them for fifth. And I'm excited to see Giselle get her karma back because she has been very messy and sneaky underhanded over the past few seasons. So I think it's finally glad that she get that same energy that she put out back to her. That's what I'm most
Vagina
excited
neck having ass.
about.
Jamal
Right.
Bryant was in none of the reunion clips, y'all.
Oh yeah, definitely. He was not.
He
Oh
was
yeah.
in none of the
They
reunion
not
clips.
together. I think, remember
Mm-mm.
when they were on Watch What Happens Live and they asked her about him, and she kind of said that he wasn't the guy who she was at a hotel room with or some shit
Yeah.
like that. But I don't think they really together at all. And I just think it's
No.
funny, like you said, Josiah, that she won't make a comment about Karen's age. It's like, bitch, aren't you in your 50s too? Your neck is telling me the story, bitch. Like I'm
They are the
constantly
elders of the show. They are the elders. How dare you make fun of somebody when y'all are in the same age range? Y'all need to be set a better example, Giselle and Robin, for the younger women because age shaming is not it. Y'all are
no.
the
No.
oldest ones. So how dare you have the
It's like,
mouth to
bitch, what are
say that
y'all,
age
6 months
shame
apart? Cut it
anybody?
out.
Girl.
The
They
highlight
kill
for
me.
me
I'm just
is seeing Giselle get scalded at. So far as Monique and the receipt, I mean, I'm here for it a little bit. I'm just over both of them hoes. I just want to see Giselle running off the stage crying like everybody said is going to happen. That's the highlight of my night. Everything else they can keep.
Like I said last week,
yeah.
uh, this. Oh, go ahead, Scott.
Oh, I just want to see Giselle get drugged by her dish rag neck. That's all I want to see. To be honest, that's all I care about. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like just like we got it like, and I said this last week, like we got that one episode of Kim Zodiac, Grandmaster Zodiac being read the fuck down. I just want one good episode of them just laying into Giselle. That's it. They could have 20-part reunion. I just want that one, just to start to finish. Just give it to them.
Right, right.
Grandmaster?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I want to see that, and I can't wait to see Big Chris get up and try to dig his foot in somebody's ass. And I was all here for it. People in my comments was like, "Well, I hope he won't talk to Giselle because Giselle is a woman." Fuck her. Giselle is solely responsible for trying to make up a whole. Well, I ain't gonna say trying to make up a whole rumor, but Giselle had her hands in all of that shit. And I was with Chris for doing that. Like, that's what a real man is gonna do. Listen, Chris ain't got no time for that bull crap. Like, I don't even think Chris wants to be on the show for real, for real. And then you gonna sit up in here and put my name and then my child's name and then the sanctity of our marriage in y'all mouth because y'all hate my wife so much simply because she got more than y'all do. Y'all
He
taking it
said
way too
that.
far. I'm gonna have to come up in here. And I'm
And he
and if
said
I got
those
to be
exact
around,
words.
it is what it is.
Yeah, he said those exact
I'm
words when he did
sorry,
a live
but
with Giselle. I mean, I'm not Giselle. I'm sorry, Monique and him did a live a few months ago. And he went off. I don't know if y'all seen that, but he went the hell off, and I don't blame him.
I'm,
That's why
I'm
they stopped
sorry,
going
but when
live.
your real said when your real said Grandmaster Zodiac, all I could think about is Color Me Pink. When we was reviewing Basketball Wives last season, and when she kept on calling Shawnee Master Splinter, that's all I
Oh
could think
goodness.
Child,
about.
Vashandria was full in her pimp effect. Okay, her color is pimp effects. Okay,
Mhm.
Oh,
we see you,
oh God! But
Vashandria.
in the comment, right? Somebody in the comment asked us to rank a housewife this season. Let me put the comment on the screen. I'm gonna have you guys go one at a time to answer the question if I can fucking find it because these damn comments moving real fast right now. Where is it at? Oh, there you go. Hold on, y'all. Oh, it ain't up there yet.
You cute.
Okay, there we go. Uh,
Oh, he is
isn't
cute.
he? I always say
Hey, Earl J.
he is. He.
Hi, how you doing? Hey, Jane.
Okay, Bundy, be the first. You can go first. We're gonna go down the row in order. Go ahead, Bundy.
Okay, so who owned this season or carried it or who fell flat, brought the lead? I think Karen definitely came out as the lead this season. Because like she's in charge of the girls. Like I feel like Karen is in charge of the girls this season. Even though it doesn't seem that way based off how the girls are reacting to her, I feel like once we get to the reunion, I think it's definitely gonna be like a Karen is in charge of the girls situation. I think Monique and Candace both carried the season because without their fight, what else would have happened?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Uriel.
So I'll say my MVPs are going to be Karen and T'Challa. Like I said, I enjoy both of them. In terms of who carried the season, definitely Candace and Monique. And in terms of 4 for 4, Stewie, Doobie Wigs, Collection Plate, and Sock Deck, yeah, I could do without them.
Oh my god. Woo. Yeah, I would, but I would have to definitely agree with spilling out a tea. I think that Karen on the season with her reads, her shades, Giselle and not I'm sorry, not Giselle, but Monique and what's her name? Candace carried the season really well. And then who brought the least was Wendy, unfortunately. Now, Wendy and Robin was a hard neck to neck, but Wendy did brought the less because I feel like that she was giving me more of a friend of the show vibe with her side commentary.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think Karen carried the whole show. Karen is the only person who is mature enough to see clear through all the smoke that's being created. And for that reason, she carried the season. She's in charge of the girls. The person who fell flat for me is Wendy, of course. Wendy had the potential to bring so much more to this season. Now, I don't know if it was the way they edited or it was overshadowed by Candace and Monique, but I feel like Wendy didn't just give what I thought she was going to give. So Karen carried the show. Wendy fell flat.
I'm gonna say the MVP for me has to go to Karen because Karen definitely did the damn thing this season. I will also have to give it to Baby Dean because he looked great taking his class pictures in that last episode. I would say it for it. Shout out to Dean. Who carried the show for me? It will have to go to Monique and Candace because, like Bondi said, without this fight, I think the season would have been bullshit. And the weakest for me has to go to Thick Weave. She gave me absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I would say
Jamie.
Monique and Candace definitely carried the show. I mean, we kept talking about their fiasco every episode. I do think everybody's right when they say Karen is in charge of the girls because she definitely came in like second place, getting people together. And then for me, the weakest was Robin. I mean, even though Wendy wasn't giving us enough, like she gave us something. I mean, I didn't get nothing from Robin this season. Just I ain't getting that. So Robin was the weakest for me.
I mean, when do we ever get anything
Okay.
for Robin and Giselle? So
Wendy just missed her opportunity. That's all it
yeah,
was.
Okay, for me, who owned the season was Karen, because number one, um, she brought light to everything that we've all been thinking, and that's Giselle is tacky and can't dress and full of shit, and she brought light to that. Um, Also, her maturity as well as the lies that she be telling sometimes. But I do think that she did on this season. I think she was the most likable person this season, regardless of her flaws. Carrie, obviously, Candace and Monique, because that's all the fuck we talked about is their beef. Candace and Monique, Candace and Monique, Candace and Monique. Who fell flat to me? It would definitely be a tie between Robert and Double Stack. Both of them fell flat to me equally.
I'm with that.
That's what
I'm with that.
I say about
So one of my followers asked if Robin is wearing the same ring now that she was wearing a season ago.
Mm-mm.
Because I think
I
Mandy
try. I wouldn't
mentioned
know.
that she was wearing a ring. They sent me
I
a
thought
picture,
they
but
got
I
a ring
can't see
made.
to them. I can't tell. My
Try
followers
not to
just sent me the
know.
picture, but y'all know I'm blind.
Hmm.
Either way, like, do us really think
it.
that Wine and Robin are gonna get married? Because they could have just went to the justice of the
No,
peace. Like,
right.
Yeah, no.
Maybe after she paid the taxes back.
Oh.
Honestly, I
I
think that
know,
might be
I know.
what.
There was no shade in there whatsoever, but it was still funny.
And I think that might be what Michael was talking about when he said he knew something. I think they probably had a conversation, and Juan's probably like, "I'm comfortable living like this. We ain't gonna get married." So that's probably why Michael was surprised. On top of him being a hater, but yeah, they'll probably get married after she pays the taxes back.
I did think that Juan proposed to Robin for the show because it was like more forced thing. Like, oh my God, let's close out this season. But we have a season finale we need to film. Let's close it out correctly. But yeah, Homeboy was not intentionally trying to propose to Robin at that moment.
I just want to say that Robin needs to, get ready because not only did she play herself, she let Bravo play her. Because if we really think for 1 minute that party Robin paid for, we know that didn't happen. And if you think about it, remember how with the Housewives, how the feds came at Candy Place because they saw what was going on the show. So the fact that you owe what like $90,000 in money to the IRS and you throw in this lavish party and every chance you get you talking about free drinks, open bar, all this other stuff. All right, keep on playing. They gonna come and knocking at your door, wait for you. Keep on playing.
I mean, well, in Robin's defense, we got to meet her where she at because the venue was nice, but it was real bald headed scallywag in there, and that's probably how she was even able to have an open bar because that's what majority of the money went to the bar. I mean, like had
But
anybody ever had a big party like that, it would have been more to it. It was cute for them, but it wasn't anything to run home and tell your people about. I mean, it was I.
even even still though, Terrence, we know she didn't pay for that shit. Bravo paid for that. She ain't paid for
Yeah,
a
exactly.
damn thing.
Oh
She ain't paid for
Talking
God.
about
just
an open bar. When
if
you saw what
I didn't put
happened,
that fucking
Michael
dish.
drunk up every bottle that they had and showed his ass down to your open bar.
However, we have been on here for 3 hours tonight. I know it's after midnight where everybody, where Jamie is, where Terrence is. I know it's after midnight, so I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. I had a great time as usual with all of you guys tonight, regardless of the fact that me and Bundy had to slap a bitch in the comments. But all in all, we had a great time tonight. Do y'all have any last words before we close this shit out?
Mm.
I can't wait for the reunion. I can't wait for because we know Andy is a. I feel like that Andy is a good host, and he's gonna call out the BS. So I'm excited for it because they all need to be called out.
Mm.
I just
All
want to say I
right.
really enjoy doing this, and it's super fun. And I think that when Potomac is over, we should transfer this to another, show or whatever, because I'm enjoying
I agree.
this.
Yeah, it is
This
fun.
is fun. This is like therapy for me,
Yeah.
like my Monday
Yeah,
therapy.
I agree.
I like this.
Right. And I can't wait for Bravo to see this so they can go ahead and pick this up and go ahead and give us a little something because we be digging into this deeper than what they could do in an hour. So
Right. No, we got
especially different opinions because it's different when I watch a show and then take my notes and go and review it on my channel. But then it's nice to hear y'all's opinions too. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, this is fun. I agree.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I can't wait for the.
this is the CNN of the Housewives. Definitely.
I was just gonna say I can't wait for the reunion, and for those in the comments that enjoy Bondi and I's, history lesson. I'm pretty sure she was glad to do it. I was glad to do it. Even though we here for the mess, when you could drop a nugget of wisdom every now and again, hey, I'm here for it.
Mm.
That's exactly what I was about to say. And also to the person that said, "Are we going to come back for the reunion?" We definitely are coming back for the reunion. We're going to try. I'm going to try to do this at least once a week. That's the goal that I'm trying to do. I'm going to try to do that, and I've kept to it so far, but we're gonna try to do it every week. They said that we should definitely do this when the Basketball Wives come on. That would actually be hilarious for us to do it when Basketball Wives come back. Like for real, for real. That's gonna be funny. We're definitely gonna do it then.
Sigh.
But what Bundy?
Sigh.
I said I was gonna retire them hoes after last season because they made me so
Me
mad.
too.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
They
we
would have to
changed
be
our
given
mind.
in order for me to like review it on my own channel. I'll come on here and talk about it with
Yeah.
y'all, but y'all gonna have to tell me what happened because they make my nerves bad.
That I understand now. Also, let me just say this too. I am definitely happy with the new addition to the panel, which is spilling all the tea. I think that he brings something else to the panel. Like he brings in like a nugget of history, and then him and Bundy kind of play off each other with the history lesson and stuff. I never would have thought about none of that shit. So for them two to have that, that kind of gives us more dialogue to discuss while we're up here. So I think that I guess Urel made a great impression the first time he did the panel last week when he came in Bundy's place. So he made a great impression. So now he's still here and he's gonna stay here. So you know it is what it is. You know people like him. So it is what it is. So I think I'm good with the people I got. Um, I think it's a good panel. I think we say this every week. I think I picked up a great quote unquote cast of people for my panel. And I don't give a fuck what nobody got to say about it. We do a good job because if we didn't do it, we wouldn't be getting the views that we get for this.
Mhm.
And tonight I think we hit like 450 live viewers, 450. So we obviously
That's
doing
what's up.
something right if we doing it like that. So
You did a good job,
okay, well,
Scotty.
Mhm.
thank you. Thank you. I can pat myself on the back for this.
You
Thank
should.
you. But with that being said, y'all, we out of here for tonight. Be sure to follow all of them on their YouTube channels. I think everybody's name up here is their YouTube channel, I believe. Make sure you follow all of them and support all of them. And that's it. So we out of here, y'all.
Bye.